Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Oh. Supercoach tabs on my phone at dawn. Scrolling through the carnage, what went wrong? Grammar soul and steady, rookies on the rise. Mid-prices tempting me, danger in disguise. Big J calling from the couch, mate. Check your side. Joe bragging about a loophole, riding that tide. We're trading in our hopes like stocks on a screen. Chasing that price rise, living the dream. Woo! We're the center bound crew. Hey! Whistle blows, we're riding it through. From goals and behinds to the last upgrade. Greatest game in the world, that's how we're made. From a pig in the guts to the bench warmer blues. Every week we're breaking the rules. They fell in our veins, yeah, it's all we do. We're the center bound crew. Got duds on the park, can't win a hard ball. Need a downgrade, target, answer that call. Possessions piling up, my captain's on fire. Vice loop lightning, sparks through the wire. Yeah. Trade plan scribbled on the back of a bill. One more sideways move, I swear I'll sit still. But the siren hits Friday, logic is gone. Mate, just push and go on. Who you backing in, who you backing in? Who you backing in, yeah. Who you letting go? One more risky move, then we steal the show. We're the center bound crew. Hey! Whistle blows, we're riding it through. From goals and behinds to the last upgrade. Greatest game in the world, that's how we're made. From a pig in the guts to the bench from a blues. Every week we're breaking the rules. They fell in our veins, yeah, it's all we do. We're the center bound crew. We're the center bound crew. Oh yeah, the center bound crew. The center bound crew. The center bound crew.
The Center Bounce crew. Yeah, lads. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome one. Welcome all. The Bombers are on the board. Get around us, mate. Get around us. Forgot what a win felt like. Where are you, Big J? You got to come in, mate. You got to come in, Big J. Where you been?
Yeah. Just doing some stuff. Got to, my time is not always my time. So, yeah, that's all I'll say. But I'm here. It's fun. Good old Supercoach. Do. And I was just thinking, Joe, about how the song goes, check my side. I mean, we almost need to change it to check the bloody news. We've got another injury now. Yes. And it's, slowly piling up. Unfortunately, good old Dev Rob has done his knee for the year, and another forced trade. Not what I want, but if it happens, it happens, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, it sucks a little bit that Dev Rob's done he's done an ACL, poor guy.
Poor kid. Finally got his dream of leaving Brisbane, and then now has gone to West Coast and then done his knee, which kind of sucks. So
yes, ACL for poor Dev Rob. It's I was hoping he might be a keeper, make us some more money, but it's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, the money was definitely there. I mean, break even of 11, only average of 55. So if he'd got his 55 this week versus Freo, would have made us 20K. And slowly whittling down the trades, unfortunately, especially for a few of us, Joe, that are tossing up between getting rid of a Dan Houston and an Anderson type, or filling out this forward line with plotters because there's just no one else available. It's a bit rough.
Oh, you're thinking of trading out Anderson. I think I'm going to VC him this week.
You reckon? So my only problem with Anderson, right? Like, I love the player, whatever. Congrats on having Bailey Smith. Like, I hindsight really hates me at the moment because I go back and think, I could have traded Richards and Anderson and English and then had money for another trade this week and got Baz and Heaney in and, you know, just like amazing trades, right? Could have worked out. Could have worked out all above. But, yeah, my problem with Anderson, and I'll most likely have to hold him this week and hold him until finish trades and finish my team. But my problem with him at the moment really comes down to a couple of different things. One being, I always call him a bit of a lazy footballer. And then now Petrarca's back too. So it's like another 100+ person to take some points off him. And he'll always be the tag target. It's like no one's bringing Josh Dunkley into their team. And I feel like Noah Anderson's got a little bit of the Josh Dunkley's joke, unfortunately.
Disgusting, but we'll see what happens. G'day, Mars. Jordan Clark didn't do too well this week. What has he been scoring? Don't have the ability to check. Jordan Clark?
Yeah, 106 this
Not
week.
bad, Jordan Clark.
Unfortunately, he got scaled down about 15 points. At one point, he was about 119 right at the end of the game, and I was like, mate, cool, no worries. Like, I've actually got a good score after the 50 from last week, but no, Supercoach says no. It just doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah. Look, he's gonna, I don't know, he's someone who's pretty durable. You'll field him. He's hopefully top 6. Possibly not.
I think he'll be top 8. Top 8 for Jordan Clark at least, but it is frustrating. You've got a few different players in your team, Joe.
Sorry?
Have you done your trades for this week already?
Yeah, I have.
Who did you bring in?
I've had to use a boost.
That's fine.
Unfortunately.
Doesn't matter.
Zorko got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Robertson ACL. And Lukosius is just a shithead. So yeah, the forwards looking sketch. So I thought, look, the forwards line's looking sketch. Might as well get 2 forwards, I suppose, considering the forward line is sketch. So yeah, there's not much money left in the bank. I'm really hoping I don't have to boost anymore until the buys and upgrade season. But yeah, I just don't want any more injuries, guys. Please stop injuring my players, for goodness sake. I'm trying to upgrade my team.
At least you've got Jack Carroll, who I hate the fact that I don't own him because the boys decided that he's gonna basically match Sinclair point for point last week, and the Watkins train continued. Joe, it's always fun when that kind of happens. So
Jesus,
what can you do?
Watkins, like seriously, for all the people who got sucked into this guy, like. And you had every right. You had every right to do so because he literally had 3 games of decent output. No one could have ever predicted a 7 and a 17. Are you kidding me? Against Richmond, 7. So it's pretty crazy in my opinion. But yeah, his break even now is all the way up to 80, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to drop even further. I'm not going to talk about boosting him in and boosting him out and shake it all about, do the hokey pokey. But yeah, it's a bit of a bit of a rough situation, I think.
Yeah, it's I mean, not much anyone can do. Mark, g'day, Mark. Oh my God, 1 win.
What's up, Mark?
And to come win in Adelaide, can't the Bombers win? Can they win in the Gold Coast? Always keep your faith in your team, guys, no matter who they are.
Yep. Yeah, good win, Mark. Bet you're very, very happy. No complaints at the moment for you, which is fantastic. Yeah. I didn't think you boys had it in you, Joe, but you stuck fat. You stuck fat post half time. It was like, yep, go time. It's like, all right, no worries. So yeah, very, very happy there.
Supercoach Carnage, Zorko, Fanaz, or the great one, Roberts. Look, I like Nazaya. I think Nazaya showed he's finally able to get through a tag. And Nazaya played incredibly well in what were really shit conditions, very hostile. So I like Nazaya. Roberts is also good value if we're going to continue to play that chip mark game style. Would be really good. But only time will tell if teams will allow us to do that. We play the Gold Coast Suns up in dewy, slippery conditions. I'm not sure if that type of game style is going to hold up over there, but I think Zorko obviously has to go, and I've unfortunately I've had to trade him out. It took George to come onto the channel to talk about old people and injury prone, and bang, Zorko goes down in the first quarter. So yeah, it didn't take long for the old man to drop, but yeah,
Not
fingers
not
crossed.
that we're blaming George or anything, you know.
No. The same way we don't blame MJ for the Houston pick. You know what I mean? We
I
don't
blame MJ. Above 1,000%. I mean, this is a headache that I'm still dealing with now, and it's been like 4 weeks later. You've obviously got rid of Houston. I still have him, and mate, it sucks. It sucks. Him, and I'll say Anderson again, but him and Anderson are just the most laziest footballers I've ever seen in my life. Just like when the ball's going forward, then hey, look, they're just staying back at the back. When the ball's coming towards their defensive 50, Houston doesn't even mark anymore. He just like sits around and you know how basketball players defend Joe? They just like this all the time. That's what I feel like Houston does. He just does that all the time to a player, and then they run past and it's like, oh, cool. Thanks, guys. And yeah, I didn't get a ball. So it's a rough situation.
So happy I got rid of him for Bond and Pelly.
Oh,
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, stuff him. But yeah, Bond dropped us a poor score this week. I'm leaning
a lot of people
I'm leaning towards Roberts, Farrow, and Fonte. What? Roberts, Farrow, and Fonte, Anderson, Watkins, Thorpe, bro. You're naming three players,
out,
and
then 2 players in. Theo, what's your maths, bro?
Yeah, try it again, bro.
Work.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
Yeah.
Good day, Shortsky. Hope you're doing well, mate. Congratulations. Nice, solid, very strong win by the Hawks. On fire.
My problem with Dev Rob at the moment, Joe, is I don't have anyone in the midfield with forward DPP. So I can't actually move someone around. I've got enough defensive, like a defense and backline. Sorry, defense and mid DPP to cover me for days, but I've got none in the forward line. So I'm just trying to figure out. Dev Rob has to go, and I want to try and swing him to someone like Perez, but it's like I can't, you know. It's like yourself having all these like just strong your team's looking very good compared to mine. That's all I'm going to say.
All the DPP. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's pretty
a little bit jealous.
I'm disappointed that I've used so many trades and so many boosts.
Yeah, but you've got 3 good backline players. I have 2.5. You've got at least 5 good midfielders. I mean, I've got 6, but who cares? And then you've still got 2 rucks, and your forward line is 4 deep, whereas mine's 2 deep. So plus you've still got Buderick. Like you're on fire, man. You can go 1 up, 1 down for every player in your team, and you'd be very, very happy.
That's the hope. It's a long season, trying to play the long game. But is Farrow still a buy? It's a good question. He's now 226, so he's gone up 64K. It's a big price to pay to bring him in. You're really hoping that he's giving you these 90s and 100s, right, every week?
Yeah, there was a period of time during the game, Joe, where he basically looked like your best player on field, which is bananas to say, but I'll say it. He looked very, very, very good on field, and was almost top of the scoring for a long period of time. Did play a bit of backline and moving the ball around and stuff like that, but yeah, it was a tough game. If you play that, we'll get demonetized.
No, I'm not playing it. Yeah.
What was a really as if you were a non-owner, it would have been a really bad time to watch that game. So yeah, I think if I didn't have him and I currently had a Dev Rob and I had a way to get him in, I don't think it would be the worst trade ever. Because if Farrow scores a 65, he's going to be 300K or close to. Like if he pops out another 90, he's going to be basically 300K next week, which I think is doable for the way that you guys are playing, because you're using him quite a lot in the switch kick, and then he's pushing up the ball, like pushing up the ground as he goes. And from memory, Joe, me just pull up footyscores.net. Sneaky plug if they want to sponsor us. Farrow took. I thought he'd taken more kick-ins. To be honest, this has only got him at 1 kick-in, but I thought he had taken more. Just for how he was playing and how good he was looking on field.
Yeah, not just the 1 kick-in.
Yeah, like I would not be sad to do that trade. I think he has a lot of money to make in him, and he's one of those players every year, similar to a Willem Dersma. I have a feeling Carroll potentially could be that player as well. These guys that just kind of come out of nowhere sometimes and say, "Hey, cool, I'm just going to score. I'm just going to score a bunch." And SSP was was that player for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't own him, and he just went massive. So, yeah, I'm not fully against it.
Yeah, I like him. We obviously like him a lot, but realistically, how often is he going to have 12 marks? It was a sunny day. I don't know how. Look, I think he's going to make money. He's almost guaranteed to make money. I mean, if you say he scores 65s, according to what this is projected, 54, 28.
He'll need to score more than 65. If you put him at like 75 to 80, which I think is very doable, I think, yeah.
If he goes 80s, he makes you 100K in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100K from this point. For us who traded him in, for us who brought him in last week, get around us, absolute legends that we are.
Yeah.
He's making 164 in 4 games. So that's pretty juicy if he goes at 80s. And if we continue this chipmunk style, we'll certainly go a long way to doing that. Collingwood give up points, which will be pretty good. Brisbane's a tough one, but it's at Marvel, so good conditions. You'd hope that he can maybe, sort of do it. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon you can, because who are the other options this week? Is the question.
Well,
who are the other questions? Who are the players? Perez.
Perez, you've got your boy, Edwards. It doesn't look terrible.
No, it doesn't look terrible at all. The teacher, Mr. Edwards.
Yeah. Looks
Murdoch.
okay. I think Murdoch's going to be the one. Hopefully he scores okay. This is Mark saying got Farrow for Rising Star at 21-1. Oh, nice work, Mark. There you go.
On your mark.
I think it could easily be, if Farrow keeps up this level of scoring, it could be him. I think the Jagger Smith stocks have fallen off incredibly hard, even though the media will keep trying to push him and say, yep. I think Cooper Trembath is definitely a plug for it as well. I don't know how he's going. Let me see. I think he's leading goal scorers for under, like highest rated goal scorer for under 23. I know that much. Let me see if I can get goals. Who's leading goals at the moment?
I would have said Mitch Edwards is a good shout, but English apparently might be back, the son of a bitch. Seriously.
Yeah.
MCL misses 1 game. Like these dogs, even Richards. Like it's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting, these dogs. They're a bunch of dogs, right? They just lie to everybody. They lie through their teeth. You can't trust them. You can't trust the doctors. You can't trust Bevo. You can't trust anyone that's a Bulldogs.
That was the same with Petrarca, right? I mean, like, oh, he's done his knee. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. Oh, yeah, I'm back next week. It's like, oh.
Petrarca? Bro, it was a hammy the whole time for Petrarca.
Yeah.
No, they're different situations for sure. But seriously, both of their star players, they just rush them back in. It's so bad. Look, if you don't have Murdoch, you're going to have Murdoch in your sights for sure. And look at that. Farrow's had 1 massive price rise, and he still has the 3rd lowest break even.
Yeah, that 105 really, really, really did a lot for him. Like it set him into the stratosphere, really. Because now he's got a 2-round average of what, like 97 or something. Like it's messed up, Joe. It's a bit rough.
Pretty nice.
It is.
So stupid, man. It's stupid.
Did
The
you hear
whole
what he
thing is
supposedly said?
What? How much are they paying you?
Yeah. That's basically what the umpire says that he what the umpire said. Sorry, umpire. What the umpire said that he thinks he said.
Yeah, and even if he said that,
it's pretty ridiculous.
what's the problem?
Because
Where's the issue?
it's insinuating that the umpires have been paid off, which is obviously claiming that he's come out and basically said, "Hey, you're putting the game into disrepute. Like you're being paid off. Like
They have been paid off.
You're not. You're being paid off, and you're not being unbiased, which is obviously what the game is supposed to be."
But all you could say is, from the outside looking in, it looked like they were unbiased. It looked like they were biased, should I say?
Like you can say that with every game, right? I mean, Collingwood fans, there's teams that just generically have advantages over other teams. The freeze against ratio and stuff like that per team is like it happens, yeah. Some teams just have like 300 more frees than everyone else in the league, and it's like, I would say that North Melbourne, due to our type of tackling that we do and how physical we are, sometimes we get like done heavily against compared to some teams. That there's teams like that, but you don't go out and tell the umpire to their face during a game, "Hey, you've been paid off. Like, see you later." Bye.
I don't know. I think you should be allowed though to call him out. I don't know. I think you're allowed to call someone out.
Do it after the game. Let your coach do it after the game. They're not
going to do it after the game.
Bevo's done it all the time, man. There's been examples of coaches saying, "Hey, we think we were unfairly looked after today." 100%.
Bro, wasn't there not a situation where an IFL umpire, there was there you go. There was literally a betting scandal. Umpire Michael Pell and several associates are facing criminal charges after an alleged betting scandal. Like that, just because they're umpires and they're doing a really important job.
This is different, though. This sounds to be different. This is not officiating wrongly in a game. This is telling people, "Hey, we've just voted Bont like 3+ scores 5 weeks in a row." Like
it was intentional because they were betting.
Yeah, of course, because they were betting money on it. But it's different than, "Hey, we're going like basketball. Basketball, 100%. The umpires get paid off all the time. It's a real thing because they can just say anything and say it's a foul and then let the opposition just get points, especially in games. I would say, yeah, well, that too, right? I would say Adelaide has been shafted by the umpires like 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, every time.
Less time. This goal shouldn't have been a goal. 666 doesn't exist when you're playing Adelaide. Like, they've got so much of a leg to stand on as well. But yeah, I don't know. He'll get like 3 weeks. You watch.
Oh, if he gets suspended for that, that's bullshit.
It's going to happen. The AFL is going to say, "Nah, stuff you."
Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but your words will never break me, or something, wasn't it? But yeah,
unless you say dodgy stuff on Facebook.
Unless you say dodgy stuff, unless the umpires are sacrosanct. The umpires are holier than thou. Blessed are you, O holy umpire, for you can never be wrong, ever. And your decisions and your integrity can never be called into question. Piss off, Matt. You're human beings just like the rest of us. Get off your high horse. Also, as Rochelle, we're boosting for, can do Buderick, Dev, and Watkins, or Rochelle and 2 rooks, or no boost, Watkins and Dev for Farrow and a rookie.
Roberts. Yeah. Want Roberts? Yeah. Well, then if you want Roberts, right, you got to do the. Are you even saying Roberts in your thing? I want Roberts, but can make it happen without Dev.
I wouldn't be trading out Jagger yet.
Yeah, I've been tossing around with Jagger a little bit, but like I think I've just come to my senses now. My only thing is like, is there even 2 rookies to bring in this week? Like, I think we've had an abundance of really good rookies, and now they've just kind of fallen off a cliff a little bit. If I quickly pull up Supercoach,
because Budrik's close to maxing out now.
like
Perez,
Perez,
70s.
Perez potentially, but there's really not anyone. Like really, the break evens. I mean, I don't think Goldman will play. He had a terrible game. I mean, I guess if the coach is holding Leo Lombard through 30s, Goldman might survive. But I could totally see him getting kicked out for a Petrarca and then just shuffling around the numbers. Perez is probably the best rookie, and then maybe Edwards, maybe. Like that's it, really. Anderson, you probably want to wait a week on just in case. There's a world, I don't know what. Okay, so we can't even get Arthur Jones in. His DPP would be nice, but we can't really get him in. If I was really cheeky and wanted someone, I'd probably go Mitch Edwards this week if I hadn't spent a lot of trades. Zach Alinsky to Edwards still could be good. I think Edwards is going to make people who've got him a bunch of money, and we could have started and been very happy. It's a rough time, man. Rough time for rookies this week. Josh Dolan looks okay, but not really. There's not a huge amount, Joe. Like, not really.
That's the reason why I was sort of saying Barrow was really important last week, because
you have to. That was the reason why I brought him in,
because of the lack of options, realistic options this week. So the problem that we had was, well, look, guys, on your mark. Thank you very much, mate. And that's part of the reason why I was saying last week, guys, if you don't get Barrow now, who are you going to get next week? If you already have Milan Murdoch, like a lot of people got Milan Murdoch, if you didn't start him, you basically traded him in immediately, almost in round one.
Yeah.
For like a sharp, perhaps. People went down to Murdoch because this guy was pumping it. That's an 101 average for his first two games. So wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people jumped early on Murdoch and he's on everyone's bench.
Yeah, Rob was similar too.
But then who else? Who realistically, all right, Perez, is he going to hold his spot in the side? Look, he looks pretty good, and the Hawks are playing really well. So hopefully he does.
People saying he's keeping Scrimshaw out of a position at the moment, and that might just not happen. Looking down the list, Joe, like Schoenberg's already made some money, so probably can't go there. The guy from Richmond is probably the next one, Oliver Hayes-Brown. Unfortunately, I kept getting tripped out because who did they played GWS last week, and I kept thinking to myself, why is Clayton Oliver rucking? Because they just said Oliver, you're in the ruck, and I'm like, what? Why? Why is Oliver rucking? Obviously, that wasn't the case, but I think he's probably the next trade-in. To be honest, I see a world where he does okay against us, unless Goad. It's probably Goad versus him this week. You would think. Hopefully, CCJ gets dropped, and there's really not anyone else on the bubble that's actually worth it. And we might not get someone like him, or we might not get someone on the bubble for a very long time.
Well, hopefully Angus Anderson next week.
Yeah,
he look comfortable at the level, so I think he should. I think he should keep his spot in the side.
There's him in the Richmond one, probably the two that they're most likely going to bring in, and that's it really. Potentially Doveston for North Melbourne comes back this week, but we'll see. It's rough.
Yeah. There's not even BJ Williams, mate. First game he played 106. Get around him. 282.
Why not? Done.
BJ Williams? Nah.
I would probably go back and get Josh Carroll back in my team before I pick BJ Williams.
Jesus.
Yeah.
True.
Gonna make some money.
True. On Butters, it's bullshit to umpire next week and a couple more umpiring in the juniors. They just need to calm it down. Or just Devin Watkins for two rookies and pass on Farrow. Bank wants it because I might force it.
I would say I hate paying up for players, and unfortunately, I paid up for Watkins, and obviously it didn't work. I think Farrow's a different beast, and I think Essendon will play him as much as they need to play him. So I think Farrow's okay to get at 226k. If you haven't, if you're not down to 25 trades or something stupid and going a bit bananas, I do not think it's the worst thing.
Aussie Abroad, if you didn't get Farrow last week, shame on you. You don't deserve him. All right.
I would say probably though. That's a bit mean, Joe. I would say though. I would say maybe just be careful about having a crappy forward line at the moment, because that's really going to burn a lot of people. And we don't even know what's happening with Todd Marshall. I mean, it sucks that he got moved forward, but he got moved forward. There's some full, I've seen almost full primo forward lines with like Mateus Philippou at F6. And I think potentially that was the way to go, just given how strong of the midfield our rookies were. Because it's almost the opposite, Joe. It's a bit crazy. Like, we came into this thinking, midfield rookies are not so good. And then now it's, oh shit, midfield rookies are the best and forward line rookies are crap again. So, yeah, it's a bit rough.
Yeah, look, Farron's worth it. He can find the pill, and he's got a good kick to handball ratio all the time, and he's normally a very nice ball user. I'd say if you get him in, don't expect a ginormous score this week playing against the Suns over there, but I think he'll more than make up for it the following week against the Pies on Anzac Day, and his break even so low, he's going to be making so much money. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So even if you say he has a poorer game this week and he scores 60, but then the following week he goes at 90 again, it's sort of the same, He still makes you the 100k odd in again 3 weeks time. So yeah, Farrow's a good boy. He's a good boy, Farrow. You should have got him last week, very much so.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. Hey, he's God. How are you, mate? I'm convinced Roberts is the ticket. Thoughts?
I'll pick him then. If you're convinced he's the ticket, then just pick him. I think, as I was saying, I think he's got a very friendly role, and nice to see Ben Mackay actually doing something in AFL last week, which was great. But yeah, I think he's got a very, very friendly role, and in the AFL is the right age profile. And as some other players in Essendon backline regress a little bit, the younger guys kind of step up, and he's been given the reins a bit, Joe. Most kickouts this week. So,
yeah, 4 kick-ins is pretty good.
There's so many of these 400k players that are not becoming primos, but they're doing very, very well.
Yeah, he just had the ball on a string, and he's got a lot of composure. He demands the ball as well, which certainly helps. I really wanted to see how the back line operates with Ridley in the team, because this was the first week that Ridley came back from his injury. So it was basically a full complement of players, barring Mason Redman, who still has to come back into that back line. But otherwise, everyone was there, Farrow, Ridley, Mackay, Reid. The defenders were all there. So it was pretty impressive to see that he continues to rack the ball up at will. Obviously, the chip mark certainly helps, but he's also someone who doesn't mind receiving the ball, drawing attention, and releasing a handball. So ultimately, you want the players who are pigs. You want the demanders of the football. You don't want the nice players who are just simply happy to play their role for their team. So and that's what Roberts is. Roberts is that hard-nosed player. Follow me, lads. I want to be a captain in the future, and I want you to be able to give me the ball. Obviously, the problem with him is that I feel like there are going to be a lot of times where he gets the pill a lot, but he might clanger it up because his disposal isn't the best, to be fair. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. there are a lot of times where his kicking really lets him down. And obviously, if he's playing in the back line and he's turning the ball over, well, it's the worst possible spot to do it because it just leads to direct scores against you, and those are massive. Those clangers are the clangers that hurt the worst. The clangers that directly lead to a score against you, you lose a lot of points for those. It's not just your normal classic clanger. You get like penalty rates against you in doing that. So if you're going to go with Archie Roberts because of the value pick.
Oh, there's not even value anymore.
He's not even value anymore. What's his price now? 521?
Yeah. He's like 30K less than Nazaya.
Jeez, why would you get him over Nazaya for 30K?
Well, it's Nazaya, Joe.
I know. You pay the 30 for Nazaya. He's right there, no? Nazaya?
Yeah. He's really good.
No, Nazaya's 576, bro. It's 50K different. No, it's 50K difference.
Midfield's like 30K more expensive. Yeah. There's some good defenders around the price.
Defenders. I'll just do this again. Players. Sort by highest price. No, I don't want the break evens.
Well, we got some people donating some money. How's it going, everyone? Essendon set for the year, barring injuries. Yep, I think you guys are looking really good. And Brad Scott's done all right. Obviously, one game versus Melbourne isn't the end of the world, and we'll see what happens against the rest of your lineups. But the team's slowly building, which is nice. Ben, don't watch the first quarter. Yeah, pretty much. But it's better than his 3 touches he got last week. So this week he's actually done pretty well. Took a few intercept marks, which is cool.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say go with Roberts and have full confidence. If you started him for 68K less than if he was 68K less, say for example, I'd say yeah, go for it. But at 521 now, you're not going to get that 145 again. It was a career high possession count. It was a 45-point win for the Bombers. How many times realistically do you see us doing that? To be fair, so
it's pretty true.
Yeah, I don't know. It's back your gut, I suppose. G-Bags, hello. Thoughts on these trades?
G-Bags.
Fonte to NASA or Roberts Buderick to Cozzy / Zach Bailey. Roberts. Who's Roberts? You have Archie Roberts? No. Dev Rob, you mean, potentially. Okay. I'm going to assume that means Dev Rob. What's Fonte doing these days?
Not much. Not much, which is
break even 78. He's been scoring, basically rookie scores for the most part.
Yeah, he had a couple of big weeks, and then he had another week that was okay coming up to the bye, or just after the bye, and then since then it's not been great.
I like Fonte to NASA.
Yep. Mid-pricer to a primo.
I know it's supposed to say, I think, Fonte to Nash / Archie Roberts, but I love calling. I love the fact that there's no space there, so I'm just calling it NASA. Fonte to NASA, Archie Roberts, or Buderick to Cozzy / Zach Bailey. Now, I think Buderick has a bit to go. Buderick, I think, is going to get a lot of supply, especially if Ed Richards is out in defense. I really reckon Buderick's going to get a lot of the ball at halfback against the Cats this week. So, yeah. Cozzy has got Brisbane. Tougher matchup.
I would be looking at getting a Rochelle and Rankin if you can. Having a look at their matchups coming up, it's really good. I think round 7, 8, 9, Joe, from memory. They play West Coast and Richmond, so it's pretty rough. They're gonna be a tough own if you don't have it.
Is Buderick injured?
Yeah, lower leg injury in the last game.
Oh, well, then he has to be in your trade plans. Okay. He has to be in my trade plans too. All right, then. That's going to have to change things up a little bit. Maybe Lukosius stays.
Nah,
if he's not injured. If he's not, well, Rob has to go and Zorko has to go.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, Lukosius has to stay then, doesn't he? Unlucky.
Great. Amazing.
What's Lukosius's break even?
Oh, it's jumped up now. It's at 72.
That's not good. He just looked so lost last week. Like Port Adelaide. I maybe it's a combination of not having Rosie and Butters and dodgy umpires and whatnot, but I really didn't have them penciled for as bad as what they are at the moment. Yeah.
Far out. What do I have? 2 spuds in the forward line? That's so shit. All right. What do you mean? Who should I prioritize? Well, if they're injured, then they have to go. So you have to pick. Is it a Nash type or a Cozzy or a Bailey type? Is it a primo defender or a primo? The thing is, there's no rookie forwards that you can get.
Apart from Edwards.
Edwards is a ruck?
No, your Edwards is a forward.
Oh, don't get out Edwards. What?
Well, he's a rookie that's on the bubble this week.
Yeah, but he's a key forward.
Like 2 50s in a row. Not the worst.
With 2 goals each, pretty sure, no?
He's a key forward, yeah, so he's got to kick goals, Joe.
Not if he plays for the Bombers.
I don't think he ever gets dropped. Who's that other one? So mid-season draft, you guys got Archie May. And who was the other player?
Lockie Blackiston?
No. The Essendon. Sorry, no, it's the Carlton VFL guy.
Oh, Liam McMahon.
Well, what's happened to him? Has he just gone to the
he's just playing VFL. He's just playing VFL.
Come back.
Sure. He's just not getting a gig. He can't break into this team. This forward line's too much of a powerhouse, man.
Yeah, too competitive, Joe.
This forward line's too chock-a-block. Look, I'd say you can get a rookie defender, but you can't really get a rookie forward. So I think you need to get in some forward primos.
Yeah, you're desperate to get forward primos. Like, as good as the midfield and the backline ones are, we're gifted at the moment with guys like Connor McDonald still being very cheap. Rochelle and Rankin are still very cheap as well. And our forward rookies are just crap. I mean, like I've been saying, I wish I had put some of that upgrade money into the forward line. Maybe even this week had the hindsight to say, well, I won't go Max Gawn. I'll go someone else and have 200K left over so I can grab 2 players into that in that position, because it's really tough. Like it's non-existent players. Like every dollar that you've got needs to be a forward upgrade for a while, I think. Even more so now with not many of them being really available next week too. Would have been nice if Golden turned into a player, but what are you going to do, The guy on the
I wouldn't be worried about having picked Maxi Gawn, obviously. The guy's the best player of all time.
Yeah, I know, but
you had 1 mark. 1 mark, Max Gawn. 1.
Yeah.
That's insanely low. He never has only 1 mark.
Supercoach God will back me up here, because I know he was talking about it a bit before, about saying, hey, it's a bit crucial at this point in time to really have spent some money in just like getting rookies off the field. And sometimes that means you don't pick up 700K players. You say, okay, Because like Nazaya, 580k scored more than Gorn this week. So if you had got him instead, you would have had money left over for upgrades this week and still been able to do what you want to do. So, yeah, just kind of how it goes.
For the person running Meandra too, is it worth keeping this setup upgrading around him? Happy to upgrade around him, G-Bags. He's the least of my concerns. The guy's averaging 88. Happy to have him on the field for a long time.
Yeah. Like at least almost until his second buy. Like he should really be the way you do your upgrades is basically just start to get rid of the worst score that you've got, and we're lucky that a Tanner Bruin is so good for his price, really, because he's basically turning pseudo primo, or at least a decent enough M8 that like a Blamires plus a rookie in the forward line can equal a primo and things like that with you not having to care too much. So, yeah, it works out quite well.
G'day, Michael. Gotta love the AFL fixturing this week.
Michael.
2 games on Friday. Really?
What a joke.
2 games on Friday?
What a joke.
Oops. Wrong one. Don't want the Commonwealth Sports Portal. We want the fixture. 2 games. It's a Thursday game and Friday and Friday. Wow. Interesting.
Was it like one Perth game or something? It's not even.
No.
Wow. Because I know sometimes they'll do like a Melbourne game or a Victorian game and then have like a Perth game on at the same time because of the time zone. It's really like a few hours beforehand. They'll do like an 8 o'clock WA game and then a 7 o'clock Melbourne game. But I just don't understand. Like this fixture. And they're 2 games that people want to watch, yeah? Like
100%.
Stuff KO this weekend. There's people going to watch the Geelong game and then they're going to watch the Sydney game at the same time. Like the dumbest thing they could have done.
No, Jez. This is their opportunity now to say, hey, guys, pay up for your KO because guess what? You can do that split viewing now. This is how else can you watch both of these 2 games at the same time? You have to have your split view going. It's so stupid.
The problem with split view is, Joe, like you can't have split view and split audio either. So like you've got to choose between which one you listen to. I mean, it's whichever one Kelly Underwood's not doing, I suppose, but still.
This is insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. What they again, more flopping by AFL headquarters. As usual. Absolute sellout.
Mark, you don't need to keep giving us money, mate. Who called the downfall of Dawn pressure?
Downfall of Dawn?
He just didn't look good, to be honest.
He scored 131.
Yeah, but like half of that was his goal, like that sneaky goal in the second quarter. I don't know. He just didn't look great. Like he was running around, and I don't think he got used in any passages of play, Joe. It was really like, hey, Max Gorn stoppage, and that was it. Versus, previous games where he'd be used up and down the ground a bit. Obviously, it worked out fine for you guys, but yeah.
He scored 131 with 1 mark.
Yep. Hey, we've only got 1 mark, so.
True. There's no downfall here for Big Max Gorn. No downfall here, but an absolute massive shout out has to go to Peter Wright. What a sensational game he played against Maxi Gorn. Honestly, Peter Wright's game, if this guy does not get the 10 coaches votes for this game, the game's done.
Hey, man, you wanted to get rid of him. You were like, Peter Wright, who needs him?
Because I know he's capable of so much more, but he showed us. He had such an incredible game. His ruck work was all right. He wasn't embarrassed. Gorny won the hitouts, of course, because Gorn is Gorn. Gorn's the best, right? But we actually won clearances. This guy was going back, taking intercept marks behind the play. I thought I was looking at an Essendon Darcy Cameron for a second there. So, well done, Peter, right? Yeah, well done, Peter Wright. Good stuff, mate. Very proud. Such a shame about
it's that stability at R2/F1, F3, whatever it is for you guys that really needs a bit of help. So the fact that he can do that for you is really impressive. Hope he can keep it up because it will be a difference maker for you if he can start taking away like the best 1 to 3 ruckman every week. So best 1 to 3 defender every week. I think it's going to really work out for you.
It's actually have the coaches' votes come out already?
I've got no idea.
I don't know about the coaches, but yeah. Let's see. So we've got the Rising Star reaction. Coaches' votes, here we are. Let's have a look at the coaches' votes. Adelaide Carlton, Collingwood Freo, North Brisbane. 3! 3!
Better luck next time, Peter Wright.
He had the best game of his life outside of his 7-goal haul. This guy, if Peter Wright wasn't out on the field, we'd lose this game so comfortably. Why did Zach Marriott, Darcy Parish 7?
Yeah, man. Darcy Parish is a primo now, Joe. Don't you know?
He had one good quarter, third quarter, which was amazing. All right, I'll give it to him.
Primo Darcy Parish, mate. Watch out.
But, bro, if we didn't have Peter Wright, we get absolutely cooked this. Oh, nah. See, just when I thought Brad Scott knew what he was doing, finally, nah. It just goes to show he fluked it. He fluked it. That's bullshit. Unbelievable. Disgraceful. They don't know shit about football. Las Pistolas 13, Big J with a big grin.
Yeah. We do what we can.
Yes, very, very, very ridiculous. G'day, Frank. It's a bad year when your rookies are outscoring your primos. Yes, I know. 100%. Moved up another couple of spots, says Damien Stafford. Excellent. Very nice.
Beautiful work, mate. Beautiful work.
Now ranked 1120. Ooh.
Nice.
Good stuff, mate. What's with Richards? Does he drink holy water?
Oh, I think he'll be fine. Yeah. I think he'll be fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know what you can do about this, but it's a little bit. Yeah. Look, the community team's in a great spot. The community. I almost want to give up on my team and just focus on the community team, which is actually ranked terribly, but it is so set up to fly at the end of the season. It's ridiculous. Trades this week looking like Buderick and Lukosius to any primo, barring Baz or Grundy. Might not trade Dev Rob right away because I like to loop, and Lukosius might drop in price. But if I go track, I have the money to keep Luco.
Nice. I don't know about keeping a 250k loop, but if it works for you, then it works for you.
Yeah. He's not going to lose money, true. And the rookies in the forward line are pretty sketch, so you might want to loop. Yeah, fair enough. Is there any chance Butters gets weeks? The problem is, I think there's a real chance.
I think there's a real chance.
It's true. The AFL are going to come in to bat for their umpires without a shadow of a doubt. They will come in to bat for the umpires regardless of how ridiculous it is. So, what have the AFL said about this? All right.
Well, he's gone straight to the tribunal, so they need to they got to back up their case and say, hey, we either said it or didn't say it, and then that's it.
For verbally abusing an umpire. But if it's set to face the tribunal on Tuesday, saying, how much are they paying you to umpire Nick Foot? Joe, just put a foot in it, Nick. Seriously, just put a foot in it. During Sunday's thing, in a statement on Monday, the AFL confirmed Butters has been charged with abusive and insulting language towards an umpire. Following the match day report during the third quarter of Sunday's match, it is alleged that Butters said to umpire Nick Foot, how much are they paying you? The exchange was not picked up on the umpire's microphone. Well, if it wasn't picked up on the microphone, then where is your evidence, mate? Huh?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the tricky part.
Jeez.
That's the tricky part.
You're being reported. Wait till my father hears of this. Wait
Well, you
till
know
my
what's
father.
funny? You know what's funny? When it happened, I thought Ollie Wines had said something because it really did seem like, oh, Ollie Wines is being like got in trouble for the bad words, and then like, oh, it's come out that Zach Butters has actually said something instead. You go back and watch the footage, it's like, oh, because he's kind of around the mark and things like that. Yeah, I thought he was the one that got in trouble, but really not.
This is insane. Honestly. Mr. Foot, you've just shot yourself in the foot, mate. Good luck
Oh, he's
having
not
any
made any friends, has he?
Nah. Captain No Mates, this one. Captain No Mates. Mr. Shot in the Foot. That's his new name. His new name is no longer Nick Foot, it's Shot in Foot. That's his name. Shot Foot. Sad news about Dev Rob. Hopefully recovery goes well. Now thinking my trades might be Houston Fonte and Dev Rob out. Nas, Murdoch, and Rankin in. Ooh,
like it.
163 in the
it.
bank. What a nice.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think this week, as long as you can start to upgrade your team and actually get like real players and stuff in, I think you're going to be fine. It's people like myself that are like, oh, I've got to go in sideways more Dan Houstons and all these kind of players. That it starts to hurt a little bit, I think.
Rankin is cheap. What was his CBAs like?
Pretty good.
Are we seeing,
I think this
are we
is the
seeing
last
more?
week. I think so. I think it's just kind of getting match fitness too, because maybe he hadn't played much.
Yeah. Let me just look at the 26. Adelaide. All right. Rankin. Yeah, slowly. I mean, he had 32% first game. Okay, that's a bit bizarre. And then 5,
Shell.
19, 27. Yeah, slowly working his way back up. Working his way up.
The only problem is you really just have to be careful of round 12 buys. I'm in a real spot of bother just figuring out what I'm going to do with my team. But yeah, Gold Coast have round 12 as well. North have round 12. Gold Coast, North, Adelaide have round 12, and I think another club does too. So yeah, there's a lot of these teams, man. It's really tough. Like really
but
tough.
you want those players though.
Yeah, I know that's the problem. So you've done it right, loading up on the likes of Zach Bailey and Pickett and stuff to at least mitigate like one or two of these players. But I've seen teams that have like 4 already round 12 players because they've kept the Petrarca or they've got Tukamilla and now he's got DPP. Like it is rough, man. It is really rough. It's a lot.
I'm just looking at the games where he's had over 80% TOG.
It looks good. They're driving Adelaide to win.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I'm loving it. He had 90% TOG on the weekend. That is next good.
Year, already talking about next year, but next year go these 400k guys that can really break out instead of I don't know. My first year going guns with rookies and maybe I'm playing it wrong, but really not happy.
Maybe I should not get like a Cozzy type and get like a Rankin instead.
Nah. Go Cozzy will be fine.
I know, but I do want Rankin too. He's such a juicy price. Rankin of 92, he could very well beat that playing against the Angels.
Yeah. I think both will be keepers, so it's really about what you want to do with the money at the moment.
It's nice though, because I mean, actually, man, maybe I'll just wait a week, and maybe Lukosius can be Rankin. I'd have to downgrade.
Well, we got Anderson coming through. So as long as I think you got Cook, from memory, so you can always downgrade a Cook to Anderson, and then you got 100 and something K for him.
And I can get So I think next week I'll 1 down, 1 up to get Rankin. Yeah. All right. I like that. All right. Happy about that. Will Anderson hold for the Pies? Oh, he should. He looks really comfortable at the level. Very
like
impressive.
their 4th best player. It's hilarious.
Yeah. what I really liked about him, no, it's weird. Like, he had composure to walk through tackles and fend people off. But then when it came to kick the ball, it was as if he'd never played football before. It was weird. His kicking was pathetic, but everything else was awesome. I have no idea what it is, but he's an athlete.
Yeah. Well, I think from memory, he's a mature age, right? So it might just be a bit of nerves and inexperience, Joe. One of these guys that comes in that wants to perform at the level, and I think there's a bit of a merit to be talked about. Trying too hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these new guys in the AFL. Oh, I do all I can do, but scared of stuffing up, which means that they stuff up a little bit.
It was all in that third quarter. 49 points.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. Now, I'm happy to. He'll definitely be better for the run. There were really tough conditions. It was absolutely pissing down almost the entire game for the Pies Freo. So I think for a first game, he's definitely conducted himself very well.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Degoe's injured. Degoe got injured this game, right?
Yeah, he got concussed early in the second quarter, I think.
Yeah, so I'd say he has to hold his spot. Surely he holds his spot. He did get like 25 for Pisswall with 12 minutes in the game. Don't mind the Bailey pick. Something I've been thinking about. Yeah, who are the top 6 forwards? It's a good question. Who are the top 6 forwards?
Well, right now, Sheasel. I don't even think Flanders is there, to be honest. Like,
no,
much as I love Flanders. Sheasel, probably Petrarca, one of or both of Rankin and Rochelle. Zach Bailey definitely looks really good there. I think the problem with a lot of us at the moment is that we might have expected more DPP to come out, and it's just not happened. And we're kind of stuck. It's like, oh, we've got Tuke Miller, and then like that's it. Like, no offense to Tuke Miller, but there's not the amount of guys that we want in that position that are now available to us. And I don't think, just due to how hard it is to get forward DPP, to get DPP post round 6, that we're going to get anyone else. So this might just be the cohort of people that we have, to be honest.
I think I've got these 3, I think these 3 are top 6, which I'm happy to have.
Pickett, Sheasel, probably Zach Bailey, both of the Adelaide boys. Petrarca, probably Tuke Miller's in there as well once he pulls his finger out. And then just picking maybe one or two others. I think you can get away with not having all of them. I mean,
maybe even a Draper.
5 out of 7 of them are all round 12 points.
Maybe even a Draper, potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Sam
looks better. I mean, he played North Melbourne without a ruckman.
Without Tristan Sherry, true.
Yeah.
But it's...
Don't bust your nuts on him already.
Jesus. No one's... He's 3.
People are, man. I've seen people throw him into their teams and say, yeah, he's a lock for top 6 and he's going to be fantastic, and get him in your team, he's going to dominate. Like, I've seen it, already.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think Blue Iris is a Brisbane Lions supporter. I think I said that more for him than I said for us. Love it, Joe, Bailey, Cozzy, both easy top 6 forwards. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Part of the reason why I just want keepers who aren't breaking the bank, like 5'10", 5'39". Like, I've already spent big getting Gorn. I've already spent big getting Bonds. Really don't want to be spending big anymore. I just want to try and go for the most economical options, really. And I think these guys are top 6. And if their keepers at low 500s, then, yeah, happy to take it for sure. Perez has shit job security, screamer breathing down his neck.
Yeah, we'll see. I think there's something to be said as well about someone posted up on Twitter. I almost said Facebook, gosh. Someone posted up on Twitter this week about how I think this has basically got to be the the most amount of cash gen we've ever had.
Mm.
I mean, there's a few $12 million teams at the moment, Joe, but a lot of us are around that 11.7 to 11.9 mark in terms of cash gen. So it's really like grab the players you can now, and then I'm waiting. Like Sam Grill, going to be 400K, for example. Carroll in your team could be around that mark. Blamires might finish around that mark. Jagger Smith has a rebound game once Carlton pulls their finger out around that mark. You know, Lockie Jakes around that mark. Is like there's going to be so many. Farrow and Sarong, another two that are going to be around that mark too. So there's something to be said about grabbing the players you can now and just keeping the guys that, you know, can pop 100 when they can, like a Lindsay, like a Sarong, like a Farrow at the moment, some of these guys, and just riding the wave a little bit, really. You know, if you've got a rookie scoring 50s and others are scoring 110, there's your difference in points at the moment. But yeah, looks really good.
Really hoping Jagger gives us that bounce back this week.
Pretty happy. Yeah.
Really hoping it's against the Pies.
He needs to, because a lot of people may have like if you had Jagger Smith, right, in your position, you could almost go Smith plus a Cook next week to like a midfield primo that's right at the end of their price, you know, price percentage, or an Isaiah or something like that in the back line, for example. Like he really needs to have a bounce back game. Unfortunately, I think Carlton is dicking him around a little bit too much.
He lost CBAs last week, which sucks.
Well, it's time on ground too, from memory. Time on ground and just not getting involved with the ball. Let me see. Carlton, I mean, they played the Crows, and the Crows run.
Yeah.
But Jagger Smith struggled. He looked terrible. I felt really bad for the people that had him on field. I mean, ultimately, I ended up getting him on field, but got a lot of his points in the second half and just didn't look. Just didn't look great. Unfortunately,
72% time on ground. 58% disposal efficiency. 3 clangers. Yeah, tough game for a young kid. Hopefully, on a wide open expanse. Hopefully, it's not raining this week. When did they play? They play Thursday.
Last week wasn't great either.
Yeah. If I go to the bureau,
you know what it feels like, and maybe Carlton fans will have a go at me, but you know what it feels like, Joe? It's like when they used to have the sub rule for like Maurice Rioli, and he would come on in the late third/fourth quarter and try and like be that extra man and that extra run. That's what it almost feels like Jagger Smith is at the moment. Like he does okay, whatever, but then they chuck him in. They chuck him in the third and fourth quarter, like right in the guts, and try and, you know, add something else that maybe he doesn't have. If you look at last week, he didn't score much in the first half and then did basically the same as he did this week in the second half. So it's not great.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. He's a talented player. They want his class and composure, I reckon.
He won't be winning the Rising Star though, I tell you what.
If they keep playing him forward, yes, he will not win it. Hey lads, ranked. Oh wait, sorry, it was Zach Bailey or Rochelle.
It comes down to fixture, I think, Alex. Bailey looks really good, no doubt. I think he's taking a bit of points off Josh Dunkley too, but it just comes down to fixture for the next little while. I would be a little bit concerned. I think you want both. What is Bailey's break even? Zach Bailey break even of 66. Okay. Should have a field day against Melbourne, I think. Rochelle. Josh Rochelle, 49. So probably comparable. Can you go Bailey this week and then Rochelle next week? Maybe the way to go. But you do need Adelaide have a really good fixture coming up. If I just go team and then Adelaide Crows. What are we? Round 5's just finished. This week they play St Kilda at home. Okay, it's not too bad. Next week they play Brisbane away. And then round 8, they play Port Adelaide, who they should smash. They play Richmond, who they should smash. And they play North Melbourne at home, who you'd think they do well against. And then Hawthorn away at UTAS. So there's 2 or 3 games there that I think you could go really big and be a bit of a difference maker for you. So I wouldn't be afraid to chuck him in there.
Yeah, I prefer Bailey too. And let's run through to 102. Trading out Rockville and Buderick. Bring in Bailey J. No, don't bring in Bailey J. Williams now. Absolutely not. No. And Connor McDonald. We'll see how Anderson goes this week. And then trade out Robertson next week. Nah, you're going Reville and Buderick. How much is Reville? $325 with a break even of 61. He should be able to score 61 against Melbourne, no?
Mm-hmm. They're playing at home. No, they're playing at the MCG's fine.
MCG. He's literally scored over 61 every game.
You can keep Bruce.
Yeah. Hold on to Bruce. Buderick can go, yes. Connor McDonald seems to be a good player, Connor McDonald. He just seems pretty consistent. 55 break even. Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, I like him.
Is there any, I mean, your team must be doing very well, Travis, if Bruce Reville is someone that you have to trade out.
He's ranked 32K.
I wouldn't go BJ Williams, though. Definitely not. Just because he scored well last week, he's not on the bubble this week. So
he might not even play. I mean, it could be a case of Flynn coming back and messing things around a little bit.
Potentially, Tatum. It's very hard to. It can easily seep in, especially in a bubble like here. That is a disadvantage to being in Victoria. It is constantly under the microscope. And whenever your team is under pressure, you really feel the pressure because it's in all the headlines. Everyone's talking about you. Everyone on the street knows who you are. It's really intense. Whereas if you're in Brisbane, if you're in Queensland,
well, that's why players move to Gold Coast, right?
In Victoria, we might be talking about you. Oh, yeah, you guys aren't. How disappointing. But can you imagine if the Gold Coast were a Victorian-based team? How much more would we be talking about them? How much more would they be feeling the pressure? You can easily, when things are going wrong, you don't have that extra hurdle to overcome by being up north. Look at in South Australia. 2-team competition there, and it's a diehard footy state. Whenever Port's doing bad, they voice their opinion. They wanted Hinkley gone, and
Koshy's band rebuilds.
Koshy bands rebuilds, exactly right. When you're in WA, you're on the back page of the West Australian, and the way they sent Adam Simpson saying good riddance to you being sacked. Like these teams do have it tough because they have extra headlines to contend with. And on the flip side, on the positive side as well, you can very easily start to believe that you're better than you are.
Yeah.
When people start talking about you. So it's...
Oh, yeah, definitely. And just fixture too, right? I mean, you look at a North Melbourne and we've done great so far, or at least comparatively great. But we've played the bottom 4 from last year. It's not a lot. So then we come up against a good team and it's oh, well, now it comes. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. This is great. Great news. Great news. Hodge was one of the best. Great. Wonderful.
Nice.
Do you guys think owning all 3 of Took, Nando, and Track is a bit sketchy, considering round 12, I assume?
I would say if Gold Coast were Brisbane and they were as solid as they are in terms of scoring, I would say it's not too bad. right? But Gold Coast at the moment, form's been terrible. And I think they're still figuring themselves out. And maybe with track back, it's going to be a little bit different. That they're going to, change things up and do some craziness. But sometimes having 3 players that all play midfield in the same team is probably not the best thing in terms of Supercoach. So I would maybe pick 1, at a most pick 2, but it would be like owning Noah Anderson and Matt Rowell and Tuke Miller and then Nando on top of that. So I said Noah Anderson twice. Like Tuke, Nando, Track, Matt Rowell. Like they'll all be cheap at some point, but a game like last week where they get smashed, no one scores over 100. It's just a rough situation, man. The Gold Coast isn't good enough to share the points like that, if that kind of makes sense. So I wouldn't do it. Yeah. So I think 2's too many. Sorry, I think 2's enough. 3 is too many. Yeah. That's my feeling.
Besides Nando, you're unlikely to keep for the year.
He's in the toilet, man. Come his buy round, I'll be like, hey, see you later, probably.
If you don't have Farrow, and you have Anderson, give him a few weeks. You'll be able to downgrade Farrow to Anderson the way this is happening.
Pretty much. It's a bit dumb.
So stupid. Dev Robin Buderick to Tommy Edwards and Rochelle, or Buderick and Lukosius to Edwards and Zach Bailey.
Can you get Rochelle
forward? I wouldn't say get a key forward.
I think he's just looking for a rookie. People just don't have the rookies yet. I would do the Zach Bailey trade if then next week you had enough money or a way to get Rochelle in. I can see getting both back to back is not being a bad thing. But I would try and get both in if you can.
Yeah, I'd lean option 2 personally. G'day, fellas. G'day, Maltese. The bomb is incredible. I know. It's very nice.
I'm very well.
It's amazing how 23 men completely unrelated to me who don't know I exist.
Oh, they know you exist. I'm sure they watch the channel. They've seen enough Bomber banter and all these shows that you've been on. I'm sure they know you exist.
Can dictate my mood to such an extent. It's quite remarkable football.
That's football, mate.
Thoughts on Luke Parker? Will he finish as a top 6 defender? And will LDU be a top 8 to 10 mid?
Well, if Parker keeps up with what he's doing, I mean, he's on fire at the moment, isn't he? Good old Parky boy. 551K, averaging what? Let me see. Averaging.
He had one bad game.
Yeah. Well, two non-hundreds.
92 is not a bad game.
It's not 100 though.
That's not a bad game.
That's like a good game for Dan Houston. What are you talking about?
I know. He's only had one bad game, and those others have all been very impressive.
Yeah. I think if he keeps up the role and keeps up with the way he's playing, I could see a world where he continues on. LDU the same way. If we check him out, has been playing phenomenally. Finally, things look to have turned. Unfortunately, he's like 27 now, so he's a little bit older. But 3-round average and 121. I think looking at my stuff, that basically puts him on line with Nick Dacos in terms of like scoring ability. So, do you think Nick Dacos is a top 6 to 8 mid at the moment? Then apparently that's LDU. So, yeah, looks really good. North have a pretty favourable fixture as well. So, I don't hate both selections.
I mean,
Parker being top 6 defender is probably the toughest one out of those two. Sorry, Joe.
Well, I think you picked for those who picked LDU, you picked them because it was of the value and also because of the early run, which for the most part is pretty favourable. He's going to have another great matchup this week. then he sort of gets pretty tough with a few tags along the way. So I don't know how. If you've got him, you're definitely holding on to him with both hands for sure. Are you if you don't have him, are you looking to trade him in? Well, I think there are other lines that are a little bit more desperate for attention. I think than the midfield. Tommy Edwards is a very good player. I like him. No one gives him any respect whatsoever. They just let him do his own thing. It's funny how he's like a skunk. No one gets anywhere near him anytime. So it's pretty funny that he just pops up and kicks 2 goals every game. I don't know if he'll be able to do that against the Suns this week. What's our run after that? Collingwood. Yeah, he might kick a couple against Collingwood. But he has come off an ACL. Look, I like him. I certainly respect the shit out of him. But would I pick him? Probably not. He is 1 or 2 bad games away from a McMahon coming in, for example. Or if we play Nick Bryan, are we playing Bryan and Blackiston and Peter Wright? Well, Peter Wright won't be in the ruck anymore. You wouldn't think. It would be Nick Bryan as the number 1 ruckman, Blackiston number 2. That then brings Peter Wright forward. So who's going to be kicked out of the forward line for Peter Wright? Could be Edwards. It could be May. It obviously won't be Caddy.
You would probably assume that it's May, wouldn't you? Like, considering he just came back. I think he was lucky to play last week. Came out and then came back in again. Don't know if it was due to form or what happened, but yeah, might be May. But it's good to have selection problems. Just not great for us in Supercoach when we want the cash gen. This week's not great.
Yeah, geez, I can't remember the last time we had selection pressure at the Bombers. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. But yeah, I don't know if he keeps his spot in the side. The Zorko injury help Kitty Coleman average over 90. It's a very good shout.
Probably. He's definitely going to get a few more of the kickouts, you'd assume. So, yeah, probably does for right now.
Gee, I wish I had bloody Kitty Coleman. That was a mistake. It was looking all right in the first couple, right? He wasn't scoring.
Yeah, he had 2 scores of 60s, and then post-bye, he's gone bananas.
60 to 50, really... you're thinking, oh, we're loving it. Get sucked in, boys, and then bang, 100 and 130.
That's it. Like, you're probably not getting rid of him. If you had him, you're not going to downgrade him mid-price or that whatever. Oh, look, he's not done as what you want, but it's been okay. But yeah, it's worked out all right for you now.
Yeah, I've never sworn so much at the Hawks as I did Saturday night as a great little piggy that seed. You seed Bonds? You didn't take a 131? Nah, you deserve that.
People didn't, Joe. People didn't. People didn't take a Harry Sheasel score. Like, people, bananas, mate. Absolutely bananas.
That is karma right there. Greed never is the answer. You just never go greedy. Hey guys, got Parrish out last week and he puts on a 137.
Mate, it's welcome to my life. Welcome to my life in Supercoach. Every player I trade out, Dev Rob. I'm going to trade out Dev Rob this week, potentially. And he's going to come back from the grave just to spite me and say, I score 130 on your ass because you got rid of me. Like, it's just how Supercoach goes.
English back maybe this week too. Yeah, it's so stupid. The dogs are liars. Thoughts on Flynn Perez as a downgrade option? As a Hawks fan, I love his story and play style, but his job security is shaky with Scrimshaw.
Yeah.
Well, why is Scrimshaw out? Was he injured? Suspended? Why is Scrimshaw out of the team?
I think it's form, maybe.
Well, why would if he's out on form, then why would Perez
has a half bad game? Perez has a half bad game or something happens. Could be out for him.
Yeah, but he was great though.
Yeah.
Why do you drop?
I like his story too.
You know,
On the North
if it ain't
Melbourne
broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Isn't that how the saying goes?
Yeah, I think so.
So why is surely you reward the good form? Surely you reward the good form. He's 24 years of age. It's not like he's a baby. He's ready to go. He's ready to go, Sammy. He had 92% disposal efficiency, mate. This is very nice. It was being managed. Stuff him. Let him be managed forever. Leave Lynn Perez alone. I guess Team Sheds will tell us.
Yeah.
End of the day, Farah only a stepping stone away, but he'll make it to maybe 350 plus. True. Credit Parish too, but got in Farah. Well done, Jamie. Good stuff. BJ Williams, someone we should consider next round. Matt Flynn 2.0. We'll see about that. I don't think so. McLuggage for 550 and Nando for 500 going to be great value. Yeah, and unfortunately, I already own the bastard in Ando, but McLuggage certainly keen.
You might not even want Nando, to be honest. The way that he's playing,
No.
he's not doing the best. I'm not super impressed.
Paul, how are you? Good, mate.
Paul.
Up and about. I'm going to trade Anderson, Robertson, and Buderick for Roberts, Rochelle, and Edwards. Tick it off.
Sexy.
Yeah, you got two. Yeah, well, hopefully two primos and a cash cow. Yeah, not bad. Good stuff. Good stuff. What a despicable round of umpiring. What was so bad about it, Tatum? What did you hate the most? Tell me. Jagger will still win Rising Star. Cool.
No, I don't think so.
Down to Murdoch. If selected this week, thinking of going Houston to Nass or track as well. Have no rookies ready for trade yet, though. Should I hold the 450 till next week?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Ultimately, it's all about setting up your. Ultimately, this point is we're just trying to upgrade our team 1 week at a time, get shit scores off the field. If you've got no shit scores that you really need to address, then you're good. If you can afford to get a premium at a good price, who you think they're going to go up, like the people who jumped on Rochelle last week, for example, they're very happy that they did. You know, so, and others who maybe saw the writing on the wall with Houston and said, this guy's a bum, this guy's a fraud, we want to trade him out, and they traded him out. Same thing with Nando's. People who traded Nando's out last week, they're very happy. So it's all team dependent. If your team's in a good shape, in a good spot, then you can save your boosts for upgrade season.
Yep.
I think Sanderson looks good. He did. Will Murdoch play this week? I think he will.
Yeah, I think so. I think if Dev Rob didn't happen, like obviously he's born. That's not what I mean. If the injury didn't happen, then I think there may be a time or an example where I could say, okay, they're waiting a week, but the fact that he's actually out puts a little bit of pressure on them to field the best team they can. So I think he may come in to fill the spot.
No, Anderson's doing that thing from 2024 where he only scores well at home.
Yeah. As I say, 2024 is a very different time, though, as well. You look at the teams, and they're it's very, very, very different. Very different. No Petrarca, Bailey Smith not being as good. Not Bailey Smith, sorry, Bailey Humphrey not being as good. I don't even know if King was playing at that point. Like, there's so many more mouths to feed. Noah Anderson, he's doing what Cripps does. And I hate it because I already him in my team. But he's doing this weird thing where he's happy to get tagged every week. And I don't like it, right? Where these guys are happy to get tagged every week if their team's doing well. And he just runs around and he's like, yeah, cool. I'll negate an opponent's best player or their tagger. So my Petrarca or my Tuke Miller or my Humphreys, things like that, do better. You watch how he plays, man. He's not even there. I was struggling to see him on field. Like there were periods of time where he sat so far out of the stoppage that he didn't even look like he was in the stoppage. It was lucky that it was lucky that, well, not lucky. He did give away a few free kicks. There were periods of time when that happened. Went 1 and 4. So, take away those 4 free kicks and he gets closer to 100, no doubt. But he just wasn't there.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. Picked him for the early fixture. Thought he'd present value.
Yeah.
And
I thought go massive.
I was so buoyed by his round 0 because he was double tagged. He had Mullen and O'Connor up his ass for the entire game, and he still averaged and he scored 1 goal, 5 behinds through the midfield, through the tag. And I was thinking, oh my god, this is unreal. If this guy is getting double tagged and still kick 1 goal, 5, and still turned up with that, can you imagine what sort of output? And then he went at 132, and we're thinking, yes, this is exactly what we picked him for. And then it's the biggest stuff for you. I'm a piece of crap, and I will tank your Supercoach team. So every year I have one premium who just kills me. It was, there was Jordan Dawson the other year. Remember Jez? He just could not kick a ball to save his life. Every year there's one primo who kills me in my starting team, and unfortunately, Nando's is the one.
I've had 3. So you've had Sam Walsh. Walsh has not been great. Egon Globes. Walsh has not been great. Ed Richards has not been great. And then Nando's not been great. I mean, there's primos that are dropping 50 points on his head every week for the same starting price, and it's just like, shit.
Why didn't I get LD Spew? Should have started LD Spew.
Should have started him. Should have started Steele. Should have started a bunch of these guys instead of 600k frauds, mate.
Fraud. Absolute fraud. Would it mean how much are they paying you to umpire because you call it shit? Or no, they're saying that you were. How much is St Kilda paying you? How much are St Kilda paying you to shaft us? Essentially, was the question.
He's
claiming
that they're paying them off.
Yeah. Hey lads, thinking Houston's Dev and Jagger to Robert/Whitfield, Rankin and Murdoch. Not stoked to trade Jagger, but it's the only way up to a primo. I could hold off and bank 260k instead.
I do not hate it. I don't hate it. Spend the boost, get 2 primos in, for 1.
None. Houston is not a primo. Houston is a fraud.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So no primos out, and you get 2 primos in. Like I don't hate it. I think you're fine. You're probably only missing out. Let's pretend Jagger does okay. Maybe he gets to 315k or 320k. Like you're not missing out on a huge amount by doing it, unfortunately. You're not. So I don't mind it.
True, 100% Blue Iris. Have you ever considered Zach Butters might be looking at life after footy and was inquiring?
Maybe that's his defense. That's his defense, bro.
Flash? Have you ever considered Flash, have you ever considered being a lawyer? That type of mentality will get you very far, my friend. I love it. Yep. Congrats on a great win. Thank you, Poet. Thank you. Oh, it was so good to see. The ump works for Sportsbet in the horse racing team. Get out of town.
Yeah, I saw that.
What was his name again? Bloody Foot?
Foot, yeah.
AFL umpire Foot. Sportsbet. What? How much? This is just a Reddit poster. Ralph said,
I saw something with his face on it with Sportsbet.
Ralph said the elephant in the room is that Foot is employed by Sportsbet and does racing tips, which the AFL has given him approval to do. It's meant he suffered a torrent of abuse online today, people making all kinds of comments. Am I supposed to feel sorry for him? But Butters, by all accounts, didn't know that connection. So it wasn't like it was an offhanded quip about that. He wasn't aware of it. Or how do you know he wasn't aware of it?
You can
The
claim it now,
AFL higher-ups say Foot is a man of great integrity. He knows the line. He knows the risk. He goes nowhere near football betting or anything like that, even football tips. How do you know this, though? How do you know this, though? How do you know that he's a man? Okay, you can say this, right? You can believe a man's... But how do you know that this guy's never done...
Is that like good character, Joe?
A tip. This is 100% good. This is 100% good character.
Okay.
So Foot isn't some kind of shrinking violet who would have been upset by someone quipping at him. But that's how he's come across as. He has come across as a shrinking violet because as soon as Zach Butters asks him a question, how much are they paying you? You've run up and reported him. So, yes, that is literally what he's appearing as, a shrinking violet. What? He would not be following through on this complaint if he wasn't absolutely explicit about what he thought was said. Regardless, that is him being a shrinking violet in response. Unfortunately for Zach Butters, even though it's maybe only a couple $1,000s in terms of a fine, I think it's really hard to see how the AFL and IFL won't back their man to the hill.
Yeah. The tribunal. Unfortunately, the AFL doesn't like getting called out. And like a lot of coaches in the AFL, the worst thing they can do is like make the AFL look bad. And accusing referees of taking bribes is definitely doing that. So I have a world where I can totally see a world, Joe, where they're like, nah, sorry, it's not good enough, you know?
Don't they wear microphones?
Yeah, well, apparently his microphone didn't work at that specific second it's like police with the body cam. Yeah, the body cam didn't work at that specific moment that
oh my god
that you know the incident happened. So sorry, not good enough.
Wow. Unbelievable. I did not know.
Yeah.
Jesus,
yeah,
I feel so ignorant now. I did not know the umpire works for a betting company. And the AFL knows about it.
The more you know.
Just when you thought the AFL could not be any more inept. Just when I always found it though, even till this day, I still find it absolutely ridiculous that the AFL has an official betting partner.
Yeah.
An official gambling partner. How can you not question the logistics of this?
Yeah. Well, it's like these companies, right? They're sponsored by McDonald's and they're sponsored by Hungry Jack's, and you know how far can you look into it when they're trying to do like healthy eating programs, but their major sponsors McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like it kind of doesn't work, does it? Like I understand betting and stuff like that, but at what point do you have to say, oh well, it is what it is, as we like to say.
I just love it. You know the guy does tips. Yeah. All right, it's racing tips. Sure. Which has obviously got nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
But are you like monitoring his phone every day of every minute of every day. You really think this guy has never tipped on a footy game before, ever? Oh, that naivete is the best possible defense. The best defense.
What you don't know, Joe?
Oh my god. Joe, you should represent him and go with Kappa. Bro, I want to give him flowers. I'm going to say this man's a hero. He is standing up to potential corruption. He is shedding a light. He is shedding light.
Give him a statue.
100%. He is shedding light on potential incestuous behavior behind the scenes between gambling agencies and official sporting corporations. Get around him, I say. Here. Butters for freaking PM.
Butters for president.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, he is. That's an ACL. That's a great shot. Operation flagrant foul. It's a fine offence, not an issue. I hope it's. He shouldn't get anything. He should not get anything. But yeah, he was almost certainly going to cop a fine. Rochelle or Rankin, the better season-long option?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, Rankin's done it before. Rochelle hasn't. Rochelle seems to have a really favourable role. I think Rankin, like, obviously, if you go off right now performance, Rochelle's got a much better scoring, but feels like Rankin's kind of taking the I'm not going to be overtaking the game kind of perspective at the moment, which is leading to some scoring. But I think Rochelle is the way to go for a similar price. I think he's, if you had to pick one, probably him right now. Apparently his preseason was just phenomenal. So breakout year, most likely for him.
I mean, Rankin's cheaper now. And Rankin's only going to... He's going to get better, Rankin. I think Rankin's got a higher ceiling. I think we saw that was Rochelle's ceiling game on the weekend. That is the ceiling that Rochelle will ever hit. He had he had 4 goals. He had 4 goals, no behinds. 17 disposals, 5 tackles, 5 free kicks.
Yeah, but his game last week wasn't bad either.
Yeah, but he had 5. That is insane. That's an insane stat line. 26 disposals, 5 tackles, 5 free kicks, 4 goals. Two of them every
2 seconds.
Two of them were when the game was on the line and it was early days, and he just had like deja vu, a glitch in the matrix. It just replayed twice. He had how many goals in the first quarter? Like this was a ceiling Rochelle game, a ceiling Rochelle game. Whereas Rankin is certainly capable of achieving that and then some. For a lesser price too, in my opinion. He's only going to continue to get more CBAs as time goes on, Rankin. I prefer Rankin. Thoughts on the following trades? Dev Rob to Murdoch, Bonte to Nas. I think we already answered this question. I was joking about you being Nas, calling him Nasser. Angus Anderson next week if you like to spot. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Woodrick has a calf issue. Yeah, so he has to go. What a cop-out, blaming umpires for losing games. They make less mistakes than the players, and players are happy to run around without effort making crap.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Umpires may make less things, but there's some pretty crucial mistakes, like times when they're not lining up 6-6-6 and another team has more players in a certain position and they don't call it out, even though there's like 15 umpires on the field. There's other times similar things where, they're not calling the right decisions or messing out on different things, or, hey, look, we put too much time or not enough time, or we've gone back in time. And I mean, any Adelaide fan will tell you that the umpires are shit. They're losing games. Yes, maybe they should have won by more, so it doesn't matter. But any umpire will tell you the same. So any Adelaide fan will tell you the same thing. It's just a bit rough.
I guess the problem, or teasing, is that we're seeing missed free kicks, or we're seeing inconsistent applications of the rules, and it's so many times you got a team that, and it's not just free kick count, it's where the free kicks are given. And I think this whole idea of a free kick count, I think that's a red herring. I think ultimately what you need to be looking at is the scores, direct scores from free kicks. I think that's the more important question.
Yeah.
Houston to Roberts and Dev Rob to Rankin, or Houston to Roberts and Budarek to Petrarca if he plays. I'd rather go Rankin, because Petrarca, first game back from a soft tissue, and let's be real, they should comfortably beat the Bombers playing at home at People First. They're a much better team at home than away from home.
Get a bit rested.
It's always been the case for Gold Coast. Gold Coast, always a really strong team at home, and then when they travel, they tend to struggle for the most part. So they might not necessarily need to play him full-blown minutes. First game back from a soft tissue. Now, I think he's fully healthy. If he plays the whole game, he could go bananas. He could go bananas. So I reckon you can do Roberts. I reckon you can do Roberts and Petrarca. And you can hold on to Dev Rob for a week and use him as a loop, because he won't lose money. And they play last, don't they? Yeah. They play last. So he was a really good loop for you this week. He's got DPP. Yeah, I reckon option 2. Everyone got Farrow basically. Now it's Perez. I mean, I don't know. He'll make some money. Should stay while Hawks are winning too.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Is he going to stay or is he not going to stay? It's probably the big thing. I mean, there's some talk at the moment that Scrimshaw's coming back. He's not coming back. What's going on? There's a lot of unknowns for a guy who's not like a Murdoch type coming into a poor team or something like that, So it's just kind of, you got to take the gamble and see if it works for you or not works for you, really.
41.8% of teams owned Farrow last week.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a rookie to get in.
It wasn't a lot. I know there's a lot of people trying to bring him in now. 6.1% have traded him in this week. So ahead of the curve on 6% of the comp. Pretty good. Woody, good to see you. What are you thinking of going? Well done on your win yesterday. Big win for the Saints. Very important win. I'm thinking of going Jones. Artie Jones should come back in a week or two. You're trading in a player who's making no money in the next 2 weeks when you can trade him in 2 weeks' time? I don't know. I'm not a big fan, personally.
Yeah. Feels like decisions like these, not that they're going to make or break your season, but poor decisions like these really, really hurt. So I personally wouldn't do it. Bringing the guys on the bubble. I mean, a lot of us have been punished by bringing in Murdoch early, for example, and just being like, oh, well, now we're desperate for a downgrade option. If you don't have Murdoch, he's perfect this week. Guy will come in, 99K, plays midfield, straight swap for Dev Rob if he's in your forward line, potentially. So, yeah, it's something to be said about going early on rookies, maybe not being the best thing.
Baz or Holmes?
Oh,
I mean, Baz is so expensive right now, $669.
Yeah. Him and Heaney, I mean, I'm not going to say the word unobtainable, but they might become somewhat unobtainable. Would have been perfect to grab them last week if you could have. I was in a position to do it, but obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, they might become unobtainable players, or we've got to wait for your Tanner Bruin types. Like Tanner Bruin plus Bill Myers, for example, might equal a Baz. And would that be an okay swap? Probably. But like your best rookies are going out for them now. Or maybe, hey, I've got to wait for a boost to be able to offload these players kind of situation. So yeah, they're very, very good. What I would advise everyone to start doing, and it's something I'll talk about in my team review. We'll see if it comes out today or tomorrow. Apologies. Is starting to have a fair idea in your teams, if you haven't already, of I want to finish my team with these guys and start to plan a little bit around that. Instead of just picking players who you think might be good and not good. Because like I know Joe's midfield's definitely getting there. Mine's probably halfway done now. I'm happy with four of the 8 players, and then figuring out what's happening with the rest of that really can start to make a bit of a difference.
Freaking Heaney, bro! It was literally right there. It was my thumbnail. I wanted him so bad. Oh,
and it was cheap. It was cheap this week. This week you could have got him and Baz. Like the trade that I was looking at doing, right, was English, potentially an Anderson, and maybe a Richards out for Baz, Heaney, and then Farrow, and then having enough money to double upgrade this week off it. And I didn't do it. And yeah, it's hurt. It's hurt quite a lot. So yeah, live and learn, I guess, a little bit.
The idea is always back yourself in the preseason and never change last minute. Hi guys, hope you're well. What's happening in Murdoch?
Well, I mean, Heaney didn't play round 1. Heaney didn't play, so yeah, you're not like you're struggling too much.
He got concussed, right? You got that.
You never would have picked him.
You got that head knock. With the Zorka, probably not. They don't play the same role. I can only imagine. I can only pray, bro. I can only hope. Aaron might get some kick-ins. Yeah, hopefully. Petrarca, 28 days since his hammy this weekend. That's more than enough recovery time, especially for a bloke with no injury history. Not counting birthday car crash.
Yeah, I think if he had come back last week, so I know Joe's been saying, first game back being managed and stuff, but I think they did really well last week with not playing him. Yeah, he's effectively had one whole extra week of not playing AFL. I love Petrarca, and I think he'll do really well. I just can't afford him right now. But yeah, don't be thinking he's going to get 50% game time, because it's just not going to happen. He'll be ready to go.
Jesus, or should I say Noah? If English is in this week, I have to go McInerney and Edwards in for Rob and Buderick. McInerney? You have to go McInerney? You don't have to go McInerney. This is a want. No one's forcing you to pick McInerney.
He really likes McInerney, bro.
Unless McInerney knows where you live and he's threatening your family, call the cops, mate. You don't have to pick him in your team. But if English is out, I will bring in my boy Archie Roberts instead.
No, I think English will play. Apparently he's travelled down to Geelong. So I don't know how that works, because it feels like they're going to Geelong really early. But the reports from Beveridge and stuff is that he's travelled down to Geelong. So the assumption is he'll play.
Jesus, okay.
He didn't look that injured. Let's be honest. I think he landed funny, and then it's all precautionary.
Well, I mean, how do you look injured when the injury is on the inside?
Yeah. No, but I mean, players do their knee, and it's he looks like he's been really injured, really bad,
Right.
He's twisted his leg and whatever. It just looked like, from me, that he fell funny.
Trading out Dev, Rob, and Zorko for Heaney and Perez. Nice. Heendog, love me, Heendog. Unfortunately for Supercoach, though, Essendon don't play Demons every week. No, we don't. I know. It's all right. We've got Collingwood in a couple of weeks' time. Sorry, Maltesing. I love you. Do we even know what was up with Lukosius? Had a horrible first half or so, and now it's a 72 break even. Should I hold him or hold Dev Rob and field Cook at F6?
I don't think there was anything in particular up with him. I think Port Adelaide weren't using him a lot, and he might have been stuck on the bench for periods of time. But yeah, I don't think there was anything like. Yeah, I don't think there was anything like, oh, he's not Watkins. Now Watkins, they forgot they had a 23rd player with Watkins on the weekend because that guy just wasn't anywhere.
His disposal efficiency was 58%. He had a shocking game. He is a kicking player, and he loves to kick mark. And unfortunately, the conditions did not suit him with the kick mark. It was very wet. It was raining. It was just a really wet, dour weekend for gather round. It's so different to last week. I mean, to last year. Last year when I went, it was bloody stinking hot every day. This year it was all rain. Thank God it didn't go to this year's one. But yeah, he only had the 58% efficiency, which certainly sucks. I think it'll be better for the run, I think. Hopefully next week's conditions are a bit better for him. He had 54 fantasy, still not great. And yeah, a lot of times he had really poor body language because he wasn't being used. I don't like that Marshall was sent forward in the last quarter. That really sucked.
It did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he was all right. It was ticking away slowly but surely. And then last quarter, bang, won because he was played forward. So, yeah, they had to change something, though. Port were losing. They had to win or try to. Hopefully that means as soon as they embrace the fact that they're not good, then maybe they'll do less experimentation.
Well, they want to win finals, yeah. They've got, unfortunately, they're a team that's got. Well, that's it. They've got the pressure of not an Essendon or anything like that. They keep bringing in players every year and occasionally look okay, and they're never going to rebuild. So the pressure's on them every week to win. They want to play finals. They want to keep winning. And if they don't, it's probably saying goodbye to Zach Butters, right? If they come out and say, oh,
well, he's gone anyway.
I know, but I think they've got a bit deluded about it. Like, they're going to try and keep him as much as they can. If there's a 2% chance that he's staying, they're going to do whatever they can to keep him. So yeah, they're just in a bit of little bit of like Deludu mode at the moment.
They have to trade him out for a lot of picks somehow, and they just have to rebuild.
Isn't he a free agent?
But if he wants to, but they could force a trade, no? If he's on board.
Yeah, if he's on board.
Who scores better over the next 5 weeks, Rankin or Newman? Nick Newman. Who does he have in the next 5?
There's a name I haven't heard of in a while.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Newman. His run to come. Collingwood. He should score well against the Pies. Freo should score maybe okay. Saints will score well. Brisbane will be tough. Depends, I suppose, on the kick-ins. Don't mind Nick Newman.
My thing is, I wouldn't be bringing in people who I know are not going to be keepers at this point, and I don't think Nick Newman is going to be that for you. So Rankin has a fair chance to be that guy if he pulls his finger out. I don't think Nick Newman is there, so I would say don't go Newman. Now, what happened with Tom Stewart, Joe?
Did Carlton have the best run for designated kickers for the rest of the year? By far. Oh, Nick Newman. Can he stay fit? Is the problem. Can he stay fit and on the park? I don't know if he can. But if he does, then yeah, he's going to have a very nice month to come. Roberts is a better fantasy pick than Supercoach. Well, yeah, his disposal efficiency is not great. 2 meter. No, I'm not going to go 2 meter Peter. He's not playing ruck every week, big bud. Besides young Farrow, I don't think it's smart to have any Essendon players beside maybe Merritt post-buy. He is a post-buy specialist.
Well, Merritt's been fantastic pre-buy too.
He's been very good so far this year. He is.
You could have started him and been very happy.
He is the picture of consistency, Zach Merritt. He's 560k right now, which is pretty good.
He's been around that the entire year so far.
He's only had the one when he got blanketed by Finn O'Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, it's been tons every week. Not too bad.
Good size.
Good size, indeed. Connor Buderick is also dealing with it. Yeah, everyone told me about that. That's right. Rookies this week isn't bad. Fawcett, Edwards, Perez, Hannaford.
Yeah, but they're not guys who I expect to score like close to 100. I mean, like, cool. If I'm going to trade in a guy who's scoring 50s every week, okay, there's a downgrade option, but there's no like clear. We must pick this guy. He's fantastic. The role's there. Like, not in my opinion, anyway.
Only player I can go from Dev Rob is Angry Anderson. No point pulling that trigger this week. Nah, no point.
No.
You also butcher every time you had in the first half, indeed. Luscious Lukosius get your ranking next week. Exactly right. So holding on to him. Buying Farrow this week. I'll have banked 80k. Downgrading Devin Watkins get me 187k. And that money on top of Butter could be Track, Took, Roberts, Worrell, Cozzy, Bailey. Of that bunch, Track is good. Bailey's also good. Nightfall. C-Mac, Rochelle, Rankin, Kelly can bring 2 of them in, but which 2?
I'd be holding off on Tim Kelly. I think he's been really good, but I don't know. Last week's not been great, and I don't think there's much value in the pick at the moment. Was it Rochelle? I would do C-Mac and one of the other guys. So I think Rankin can wait. So maybe C-Mac and Rochelle this week.
Chad Warner. What's Chad Warner going to get, though?
Yeah, he's not been playing very well. Been playing pretty shit. Yeah.
He's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde. He's never turned up this year.
Yeah. He's just not playing well.
As soon as he hits his straps, then we'll trade him in. Until then, happy to continue to watch him keep dropping in. Rankin under 450k is my best buy. I think seemed to find form against the Blues. Yeah, he had a ripping game.
Yeah.
What I think that I was looking at it before. The thing that really makes me happy with Rankin, that he's really turning the corner and that we should start to see a lot more good scores out of him, isn't just the form that he was playing with, it was his time on ground. He had 90 TOG. You can't do that if you're unfit. He's getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, he's getting there. He's had a bit of a mini preseason here between rounds 2 and 3 and 4, but he's getting there. Now, 90% TOG. Love to see it. At the moment, only have 2 players on that round 12 bye. Excellent. Very nice. Loving LDU. Oh, 100%.
Good
well
player.
done.
Good player, LDU.
All right, 700k guys for me. Liam McNaught, mate, he's 2-goal Liam. He just refuses not to kick 2 goals. McAndrew, Max Gorn will put heaps of points on Jackson. Same with Grundy. Even more for teams with McAndrew at R2.
Yeah, but teams have got McAndrew at R3.
So, Track, Bailey, or Rochelle this week. I think Track and Bailey are the two better options, in my opinion. I like Track and Bailey. I like those two guys, but that's just my personal opinion. I've come around from boosting Think Luke and Buds for
jumping off what you're saying there, Joe. Bailey's in a weird position where, just due to his price, that if you don't pick him up like this week, he could end up being too expensive for you to get in. Whereas Rochelle and Rankin, I don't think will jump up to 500k plus. They'll get close, but they won't jump up to 500k. Whereas the other ones will, and it's going to be pretty hard for you to get them in, I think. If you don't pick him up soon.
From boosting, think Luca and Buds for Edwards and Rochelle. There you go. Fair enough. Save the boost if you can. Please talk to me about Mr. Roberto and my bias, which I think is the real deal. The problem is I'm really bad at suggesting Bombers players because I also always feel that I'm biased.
Yeah.
I just can't look at these guys objectively and say, yeah, go for him, pick him. That's the thing. Like it sucks because I really want to pick these players, and I see the best in them is the problem. That's why I started a Parish. That's why I started a Blackiston. Because I see the potential, and I look maybe too much into it, and I forecast what they can do, as opposed to what they will do. It's a really tough predicament to be in. As long as we're playing that pick mark style, he will always be good. And I guess ultimately for him, he is. I said this before. He demands the footy. He wants the footy. So he's a bit of a pig. But unfortunately, it can be a double-edged sword because his ball use isn't the best. And if he's turning the ball over in defense, it really hurts. So I think there are other safer options than Mr. Roberto. Roberto will be a future captain for this side, for the Bombers, but I think there are other options you can pick. Sounds like Gorn, non-owners cope. Come on, mate. Be nice to Dylan who kept the sausage roll at the same price. All right, Daz. That's a pretty good one. Gorn washed. Get out of town. Dev Rob is a must trade for everyone. Yes, correct. The only question is when you want to trade him out. If you have other issues, then they can be traded out.
That's it. There's a lot of people saying as well, hey, maybe there's not a rookie that I want. Or I really want a loophole for this week and I can't do it, things like that.
They've replaced double headers on Saturday night with Friday night double headers now.
So dumb. It's so dumb.
Hey, Shauno. Hey, guys.
What's up, Shauno?
Yeah, Dev doing an ACL equals Shauno. It's very sad. Can we look at the past scores of Max Gawn against Brisbane? Well, I know there was a 0 in there. The infamous 0 of Max Gawn against them. But he also did have a 200 game against them too. So you get the full range of the full spectrum of Gawny against Brisbane. There it is. The infamous 0 injury in the first quarter. And then he follows up with a 215, 138, 79, 119. Yeah. So it's very hit and miss. Very hit and miss, but it's a different looking Brisbane ruck line now that he's got Draper there. 3 voted Peter. I love it. Typical Essendon fans. Look, I think that he was still the best player on the ground for us, personally. Structurally, he was really important. It's very easy for a player playing at halfback in a chip mark game style to rack up a lot of the pill. You know what I mean? Whereas if you are a makeshift ruckman going up against Max mother flipping Gawn, one of the greatest ruckmen of all time, and we still come out on top in clearances, and he's taking intercept marks and pushing forward. And you can tell Gawn did not have his usual influence. Gawn had one mark for the entire game. I think an effort like that from 2 minute Peter or 3 voter Peter definitely deserves more than 3 votes, in my opinion. Anyone else have 4 Premier defense drop less than 80, one but injured again? Yeah. Honestly, Brad Scott would have rated Ice Roberts 5, Parrish 4, Wright 3. Yeah, King. They gave Roberts 10, 5 each. I don't know. I don't think he's was whatever. I probably have to get Murdoch this week. Yes, if he's named, you have to get him in this week.
Yeah,
it is the most obvious selection of all time.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Hey, Jack, hope you're doing well. I hate this game.
Oh, Jack.
Poor Dev, feels so bad for him. He's the nicest guy on and off the field. Yeah, it's so bad, man. It always sucks when good people get struck down. Stuck on which forward to pick, Rochelle, Ginnivan, McDonald, or Murphy Reid. I like Rochelle or McDonald.
I wouldn't get Murphy Reid. I don't think Murphy Reid's a top in the position. Maybe he'll get close, but I've never considered him to be that guy.
How about those Bombers? Get around us, Jack. Get around us. It just took us almost a year. Jeez, you know it's bad when everyone at work and all your mates start messaging you saying, wow, you won a game. Like, not quite what you were hoping to hear, but, everyone was happy for us, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, we take that, right? We take that. Calm the Dons. Great win. Old mate getting fired up about coaches' votes after a huge win. Bro, I'm just kidding, mate. I'm trying to give some banter. I'm trying to create some entertainment here. Thank you very much, mate. I am having a wonderful time. Very happy. Very, very happy with the win. Keep up the great work all around. Love you, boys. Really does help a lot. Oh, cheers, Jeffrey. Much love, mate.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Guys, I think this may be me. Unfortunately, I've got an early day tomorrow, so I've got to head off. Team review, I promise, will be out tomorrow. I'll do it when I get home from work. So, yeah, I've done something a bit silly with my team, and I've got to figure out what I'm doing with Deb Rob. So,
what have you done?
I hope I get full primo.
What have you done?
I can't
give us a sneak peek at least.
Well, I brought in Farrow, and I brought in who else did I bring in last week? Farrow and Farrow's good. I'm happy with Farrow. Farrow and I forget who my trading was. Farrow and Gawn. Farrow and Gawn. And then I brought in someone else for someone else.
Wow.
It wasn't very nice.
Wow. Did you bring
I didn't bring in Volko. I did not.
It's got to calm it down, mate. It's got to calm it down.
Yeah, it didn't hurt me as much as I thought it would. I was a bit off the edge yesterday, but just a bit crazy. Need to figure out the forward line. It's really rough. It's like really rough. I would have been happy not going Max Gawn for the 130 and going 2 primos and then Farrow and then having some extra cash this week, but it's not worked out, so that's all right. Done. All right, see you fellas. I will catch you members live stream tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Should be really good. Not sure about Wednesday, but Thursday the drive home, and then Friday team sheets. So lots of stuff coming out. Should be good.
Indeed. All right. See you, mate. Have a good night.
See you guys. Catch ya.
Bye. All right. Let's get through some more of these commentos. Aren't you getting the same, Joe, that you normally get? God? Us finally getting a win. Does that change me that much, does it? I thought I'd still the same old me. I feel like Rankin is a better pick than Rochelle season long wise. Yeah, I agree with that. For sure. Picking Myers over Pickett is a big mistake I made. Not happy. Man, Cozzy Pickett was in my entire preseason team. All of my preseason, Cozzy Pickett was a lock for me. Then the news came out about his separation, and I thought, nah, I can't go there. He's going to be distracted. He's going to be crap. Next thing you know, this guy is an absolute lock. Top 6, in my opinion. He is the number 2 by far in centre bounce attendee. So, yeah, because Cozzy Pickett, I should have just backed in myself over the preseason. Rankin is just much better value in my opinion than Rochelle. I agree. Now I've got Cozzy, got 94. True. That's 100%. I am sticking to my boy. I am sticking to him. Rochelle or Rankin. Look, I personally prefer Rankin because I think Rankin's is going to ramp it up from here. Pickett also has Richmond and West Coast. Get around him. Possibly. I just wish he had more kick-ins. But North Melbourne do have quite a decent second best run home for designated kickers. The problem is with Parker, if you don't have him, is that he's got the round 12 bye with a lot of other players. That's a problem. Do we think Flanders is a keeper? Look, if he's averaging 88, I don't think he'll be top 6. He might be top 10 to 12, potentially, if he continues doing 88. And if that's the case, you can trade him out. I just think he's got the best buy at this point. With round... No, he doesn't, sorry. He had the best buy. In that, he's got the very last buy. He could be someone that you just carry through the buys. He's scoring 88, which isn't the worst. And then you can flip him to whoever you want. As long as he's playing and he's healthy, I think it's fine to hold on to Flanders. Unless, of course, it gets you a really big top dog. Can we look at Zach Bailey's heat maps? We can. Zach Bailey. Now, the thing with Zach Bailey is this guy is going to... He's obviously taking his game to a new level. He is being chased by lots of teams being out of contract soon. So he's had a lot of CBAs until last week. Does that coincide with a Rankin? With the return of Hugh McCluggage? So Zach Bailey at 48 and 45 then drops to 8. Eaten into by Hugh McCluggage. In the early days, McCluggage got injured really early on. We had the 9. But regardless, he isn't a CBA guy. He's more of a mid-forward, high half forward player. Let's see. Yep. Okay, that looks like something else there. And then following week, heavy mid minutes. Following week. The thing with him is that he still gets a lot of points from working his way up the ground. He's a good ball user. He can hit the scoreboard. but he's a really good runner. He makes good decisions. He's got X factor. And obviously the Lions have such a potent team. Almost every time you kick the ball inside forward 50, you're going to get a score assist. So he's not an accessory. He is an important member of the team. Zach Bailey is hitting his prime at 26. I'm really liking this guy. They have to want to convince him to stay, giving him green light to roam up the ground. Yeah, I like Zach Bailey for sure. Which two out of Track, Cozzy, and Bailey would you go with? Oh my god. You're asking me which of my children I love more. I have to let go of one? Track should go bananas against us. Cozzy's good value. And Bailey... the break even of 66. So if he scores, I mean, last time we played Melbourne at the Gabba, went 123. He's projected 105. He's going to go up 17k. So it's not the. You know what? If you had to get one or the other, I think he's got a break even of 101. So I'd prioritize Bailey this week and then try and get Pickett next week. Don't have to pass on any of the Adelaide boys. Already have Took, yeah. Trucker back this week. He'll be back this week. And I don't think they need to manage his minutes. I think he was ready to go last week. Perez versus Edwards. Perez job security worries me with Scrimshaw. I can't even do anything about that. I can't even do anything about that. I mean, I could go Dirksen instead. When do we know? When do we know? When do they play? So Carlton obviously play Thursday night. So we'll know early if Dirksen keeps his spot in the side or if he's dropped. Because Wiedering will return. If Wiedering returns and Dirksen stays in the team, then get around him. He's your 99k rookie. Hawks are on Saturday, not Sunday. So we won't have, so it will be a finalized team, not an extended team, which means that we can see for sure if Perez is named or not. Whoever is named out of Dirksen and Perez is most likely who I'm going to go for. I do not have the funds to go Edwards. I cannot afford him. So please, one of Perez or Dirksen, please survive. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change my trade plans. And I won't be able to get my two primos in the forward line. Which would suck. Nah, it hasn't yet, Nightfall. You could get him this week still. He'll ton up against the Pies when Rising Star. Fingers crossed for Jagger. Really need him to do that. And then the following week, Farrow can smash them. Hopefully we have a Jagger Smith ton this week and then a Farrow ton. Hopefully our rookies just ton up against the Pies. Bailey will score more than Rochelle. Fingers crossed. Going to spicy forward with Dev Rob out for the season. Elliot Yo. True. But I'm not going to go for someone so injury prone like Elliot Yo, unfortunately. So I played this weekend. Oh, good news. Good news. Well done. Thank you, Mark. Is Bailey worth a boost? Melbourne, Adelaide, Essendon, Carlton. Good fixture. No, I wouldn't take points off him. in my opinion. I think Bailey is worth it. Bailey, I reckon, is top 6 forward. Do we reckon track? Nah, probably not. I don't think they will. I mean, Rao has got the full run into his legs now, I think. It is it's an afternoon game. Interesting. Not a nighttime game. So not going to be dewy. Interesting. I think we should play a full game. Apparently he's got some calf complaints, Minamoto. That was a horrific game, Andy. I did not enjoy watching that at all. True. Also, what's the deal? I don't know why Gorn is projected to go so high. But we'll take it if he does. Only issue with Parker is when his body will let him. True. So we can put the C on him and pretend our projected score is real. Can I optimize? All right, I've optimized. 23.94. Not bad. But obviously we know projected scores don't mean shit. Cheers, lads. I've gone Houston to Connor McDonald. Cool. Robert's a must-have? No. When do we think Hugh will be ready to pick up? Oh, Hugh still needs a couple more weeks to go. The human suitcase. To break even 22. Jesus. He's got 89. Even if he scores, okay, Melbourne, he might have a good game. Say he scores 100, and we're slowly ramping him up. Say slowly, every week, he's getting better and better. 120. All right, project. If he goes 100 and 110, he'll up to drive to 553. I reckon that's when we get him in a couple of weeks' time at about 553. All right, I got to really rack it through these comments. Holy crap. It's 2.5 hours. We're going to trade Jeff Rollins and come back and say, oops, sorry, missed with the scans. Yeah, I know, right? Classic. Time big JD to trade Eddie. Sorry, we took too long to get to this comment. I think Butler might be kicked out. Fingers crossed. Bevo has us on the top peptides instead. This is the weapon work for you guys. North's last 4 games are super tough. Mate, you can't be predicting the last 4 games of the season. So glad Rich. Yeah, I know. He's a bit of a fraud, isn't he, Nando's? I can't believe he's been so poor this year. All the Nando starters going to be filthy. I don't even know I don't even know why you'd bring him in. Nah, Anderson turned to shit ever since he left. I know, thank God. Brayshaw as well. Yeah, true. Another tough start. People first, UTAS, people first. Come on, fingers crossed. Started Dawson, Richards, Nando, and Track. Yeah, you can't forget Rosie. You know, there's a bunch of other players. Please trade out Jagger. True. You can't trade Nando when he plays the Bombers. 100%. Yeah, I know. I don't know how I only just found out about it. Good to see you, Mark. No guarantees, Mark. Nick Foot said, put the house on Pride of Genius. Lost my house, deposit the dog. Love it. Love it, God. I've got a Rory Laird issue. Do I stop it for a premium in the mid or anyone else in the flex? Rory Laird. You have Rory Laird. Interesting. Depends where you're weakest, man. I obviously found I had Zorko injured. And then I've just found that my forward line is sort of fallen apart a little bit. So I've just gone with the 2 premiums in the forward line because the forward rooks I don't think are necessarily there. Ultimately, it's a structural problem. Elijah, you got to fix where it hurts. Where's the hole? Plug it up. All rice for Sir Honourable Ford. You can't have referees working for 100%. Exactly right. Pro wrestling is fake? No. The suspect got beaten up by the cops. Yeah, the body cam malfunctioned or wasn't turned on. Just wait until the umpires his next game. The crowd's going to give it to 100%. I know, right? I think that's got 60. Their fellas had such a bad 12 months or more. Yeah, Dylan's clearly inept. Match director gives, yeah, I know, right? And it's just reassurance or affirmations. Don't go down a rabbit hole. I can tell you everything around the world against the everyday person. Oh, Elijah, please hit us up. Hit us up. Open our eyes. We have to get red pilled. Looking at either boosting in Wang, Bailey, and Edwards, or not boosting. I like those boosts. I like that boost, Ricky. The issue is sporting and betting in the first place. People just get so sucked in and have. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Wow, AFL and the umpires, you can't script the stories, conspiracy theories on this and drugs, money. Yep, 100%. It's just good marketing tactics to get a major gambling company to sponsor the AFL as it is a fast food chain. Beer company. It's all about footy fan stereotypes. Yeah, but they don't realize that by having an official gambling partner, they are encouraging gambling, which certainly flies in the face of all of those teams that say, love the game, not the odds. Remember that? Remember? Aims to reduce the exposure of young people to sports betting promotions and to counter the normalization of betting on sport. And yet, the AFL has an official gambling partner. Make it make sense. Please. Make it make sense. Very nice, 23.81. But then again, we all know that optimized scores don't really matter. G'day, Brody. What's Hannaford's job security like given Canelio is injured? Jagger, Buderick, and Dev. Don't trade out Jagger. I'm not entertaining any trades involving Jagger, in my opinion. I'm really tempted on jumping on Chad Warner for some reason. Good question. I don't. What is that reason, Kenna? What are you doing? Or Horn Francis, the horny one. I don't know about that one. Rankin is a bigger risk than Petrarca. Rankin does not even look fit. Bro, he's not even fit, and yet he's still scoring. What did he score on the weekend again? He's having a bit of a mini preseason. Tatum. And he still scored 103. 90% TOG. That's what's really important. I sent you my team. Who should I trade in and out, even if I need to use a boost? I'll have a look. Do I go A, Dev, Rob? What, you want me to show your team on the screen now, Muzz? Whilst I'm live? Do I go A, Dev, Rob, Fonty, and Houston to Jackson, Perez, and C-Mac, or McKercher, Fonty, and Houston to Jackson, Nass, and Perez? Option 1. There is a house in New Orleans, Mark, called the Rising Star. Oh my god. And it does have Bedford. Did they even use Bedford as a tagger? in their last game. Bedford played against Richmond. I don't think he's tagging. If he gets locked down, those two might not be as expensive. And maybe full strength dogs. There won't be full strength dogs. I don't think so. Heaney's unstoppable. Zorko out, got Naz in, Richards out for Heaney, Robertson out for Edwards. There you go. 2 to 12 week injury turned into 1 week. Amazing magic. With that logic, though, should I go Zach Bailey or Track? Like to get the other next round, or if just get the one who's gonna go up in price more this week. Then, honestly, what Port should do is tank, like audaciously tank. Pick one, bid on Cody Walker. If they're tanking because they're rebuilding, then Day is not the answer for Port. As much as you want Butters for Day as a Hawthorn supporter, I don't think it's in Port Adelaide's best interests. Hey guys, the AFL is not only inept but also corrupt. 100%. Here. That is 100% correct. On your Boz. I'm in a dilemma. Who to trade out this week? 373 can the bank. Fonty, Lukosius, Flex. Buderick and D. Rob. Could use a boost, but not a fan of the players on the bubble. I assume you've already got Farrow. I assume you already have Murdoch. Just get the best players you can get, bro. And his buy is sweet. Only really McCluggage and Grundy. Yeah, true. 100%. I'm loving Heaney as a pick. Yes, as a Hawks fan, I would make that trade. And then, of course, you would, as a Hawks fan, make that trade. You're getting an upgrade. You're getting someone who's going to be there every week, as opposed to someone who's there 10% of the season. This secured experiment fails, not to mention having Horny Man as well. Yes, as a Hawks fan, I would make that trade and then match a bid on Dougie Cochran. And then you have 2 top 5 picks as well as a good youngish core of Day, Rosie, and Bergman to sell some hope to Naz if the secured experiment fails. True. Okay, that makes it a bit better. Agree, all the rooks this week look average. Yeah. Thinking of trading Houston and Jagger, Heaney and Anderson. You don't have to go early on Anderson. Anderson is not on the bubble this week. Get around us. We might not lose any. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Happy that we got. That's now 6 quarters in a row of good football. 6 quarters in a row of good football. Let's add another 4 to it. And then another 4. All right, lads, just keep the momentum going. Believe. Gee, it's amazing what happens when you drop people like Perkins and Guelphy and you bring in real excitement machines like Roby and it's so good. So exciting. R1 Gorn, R2 Grundy. Very nice. Very, very nice, Mark. Well done. How often will the Bombers have control position for me? Yeah, I know. It's not going to be every game. Absolutely won't be every game. That's why I'm saying he's not a must-have. I agree, Woody. Sometimes you just overthink things. I follow a total moron on here. He's ranked in the top 1,000. Don't think, do. True. True, Aka. Who are we tipping against? Who are we tipping against Brisbane and Melbourne at the MCG? Definitely going Brizzy. The Demons and Suns did me a 7 multi paying out 4. What? Elijah, I think you have to tell us who you're tipping that we can get in on that action, my friend. Holy crap. 40K. Bro. Elijah, hit us up, please. We need to have you on as a special correspondent, mate. The official gambling partner of the Centre Bounce. What forward? I'm definitely going Brisbane. What forward do we get in seriously? I have 300K. Do we think Butters would get? No. Butters will not get weeks. Butters will get a fine and only a fine. You have 300k. If you have it on a Lukosius, chuck it on him. If you don't have it on Lukosius, you have Buderick, put on Buderick. I think you can certainly get track this week. Becca Farrell, my glorious. His composure is off the charts. His composure is so good, and a lot of times he just makes a really good decision. The only thing that we need from him is just obviously with more experience and I suppose feeling like he genuinely belongs on the footy field is to be a bit more assertive defensively. A few times it just looks like he's unsure if he's supposed to go or not. He's a bit of a good boy. He's a very good boy on field. But yeah, as soon as he gets more experience into him, oh, watch out. In the ruck on Saturday, right, had 8 marks, 18 disposal. I know, insane. What an amazing game. Well, for this forward mess. I mean, bro, I'm the same. Bro, I'm the same. I'm a loss with the forward mess, and that's why I've done what I've done. That's why I've done what I've done. Struggling, guys, mate. I will do our best. I'll help you. I'll help you, Muzz. I'll help you. Jesus, don't cry here. Where are you? Are you still in the chat? Game day. I know I played against you. You beat me, bruv. And you're here struggling. You beat me. Unbelievable. Help me, I'm struggling. I'm just beating... You're second in our league, mate. You know who's struggling? People in Lebanon getting bombed. That's who is struggling. You, my friend, are not struggling. Desmond's got 105. Wow. I did not see that. I did not see that coming. Bro, you still hold on to Parrish. You have Roberts already. Muzz, I'm not helping you. I'm sorry. Not this second. I've been going, it's 2 hours and 42 minutes. You are not struggling, my friend. I'm sorry. I will message you afterwards. Lads, if Jack Watkins averages 300 for the rest of the year. Wow. I love it. Thank you, Flash, for making those calculations, mate. Is someone I'll trade round 13 for Rankin? Yeah. Lions are going to win the grand final again? No shit. They're set for a decade, mate. I know. Thank God the Hawks play Saturday. We'll know for sure about Perez. All right. Which trade? Watkins, Dev, or Perez and Fawcett? Dev and Buderick for Rochelle/Rankin. And Perez? All three. Boost Watkins, Dev, and Buderick for Bailey, Fawcett, and Perez. Fawcett. I must confess, I know nothing about this tap. If he's leaky or not. Liam Fawcett, age 20. 56 and 52. Had no ruck contests. No ruck contests. So he's playing pure key forward for the Tigers. Realistically, how well is he going to score? 90% Tog, 3 goals, 2. 3 goals, 2 against the Giants. Get around him. What's Richmond's run like to come? Any tough matchups? Are they tough matchups or? Oh, he's got North this week. Could score well against North. Melbourne, West Coast. Yo, that's actually that's quite a decent run for a key forward in the next 3 weeks. Look, you know me by now, Aussie abroad. I love non-forward forwards. I don't like key forwards. In general. 119. And I know you're not wanting to go with a Perez because you think his job security is no good, but I guess you will know come Thursday night if Perez stays in the team or not. If he stays in the team, happy to go stick with him. I do like Bailey. I think Bailey is worth it. You're trading out an injured mid-pricer, a dead rook, and another injured mid-pricer for a premium and 2 rookies. Is Fawcett or Perez worth a boost? And I'd say no. Neither of those 2 rookies are worth boosts. The same way Watkins was not worth a boost 2 weeks ago. I think option 2 is your best bet. Anderson better go 200. I'm sick of him. Placey, where are we? What are you talking about, bro? If Anderson goes 200, it means we're getting smashed. You want us to get smashed? Regardless of Nando's scores this week, he's gone for track. Fair enough. Okay, we're all out here. The pick of the week is Essendon to beat the Suns by 15. Hold the faith. Mark. I love your optimism. Can Watkins reset his break even? I don't know if he can. It's now 80. He's projected a 42. So if he's scoring 42s, he will drop 16.9. It will take him 3 weeks to make up that lost cash. Trade him out, bro. Trade him out. The AFL, bet responsibly and lose all your family's money to our great partner. Weren't they bringing in legislation to make gambling ads illegal? What happened to that? Je ne sais pas, Birdman. It's just one big contradiction. Would Jagger be a trade out if he scores another sub 60 score? If he scores sub 60 against the Pies, then yes. I think so. They were against, yeah, true. No one attack, fair enough. But a bunch of the picks away will get swallowed up in the Cochrane pick. Helps convince the Port fan base that will be a quick 1 year tank. It won't be a quick 1 year tank. Forgot to mention 2 first rounders. True. True. Joe, what do you call the people in denial now that we are now in upgrade season? What do I call the people in denial that we are now in upgrade season? I don't call them anything. They are beloved viewers and watchers, and we're here to help them to upgrade their team as best as we can. Except for people like Muzz, who are not struggling. Who are not struggling. Oh, Muzz. Why? Why? Why are you like this, Muzz? I want to quit. Bro, you beat me. Bro, you beat me. Should I quit too? Bro, you're second in our league. I'm going to crash out. Oh, bro, you greedy son. Ah, all right. Look at your team, bro. All right, you got Dacos, Nakos, Stevens. Interesting pick. Gorney, Roberts, Parrish, Pickett, Lombard, Dersma, McAndrew, Cook, Jagger, Clark, Shazel, Sarong, Bont, Bruin, Robertson. All right, so Robertson has to go. Who else do you have that needs to go? You even brought in Farrow last week. I don't see what the problem is, mate. I've had a fall from grace. Was ranked 21k, and now I'm 75k. I don't know what has happened, mate. Placey, it's the best 18s really dodgy. The real season starts from here, mate. The real season starts from here. Don't worry about it. Bro, your team is decent. You even held Parrish. You're like one of the 3 people in the entire world who has still held Parrish, and you've gotten the big score out of him. You got Roberts. People now are wanting to bring in Roberts. You want ahead of the curve. Look, Dylan Stevens is hit and miss. And you have 157,700 in the bank. Bro, just upgrade the team. Get a forward in. Who do you trade out? Trade out Stevens. Working with that. Who am I getting for Rob? Bro, you don't have Murdoch. You don't have Milan Murdoch. Milan Murdoch is the most obvious trade-in since the dawn of time. Trading in Milan Murdoch is as free as God saying, let there be light, bro. Are you kidding me? So Dev Rob, you trade him out. You swing Pickett. Oh no, you already got Pickett there. Let's see who's got DPP. Oh, Muzzy, you know I love you. It's 10:54, bro. It's 10:54 on a Monday. I've literally been going all day. Milan Murdoch is who you bring in. And you get what's his face? Stevens up to a premium of your choice. You got plenty of money in the bank. You've got the best cash cow rookie this week, who is a fieldable option, and you still have money in the bank probably for future upgrades. Muzzy, you're in a great position, mate. I will roast your ass for being so melodramatic. Just calm it down, as the squad father would say. Have injuries in Rick, Young, Track. Yep, I had Young. Yep, I had Track. Had Rosie. Yep, had Sherry. Yep, had English. Yep. Didn't have Richards. Had Zorko. Instead. I know. You rent my team? I think you're in my league. Perhaps. I'm only reviewing Muzz because he was crying and was crashing out. Desma and Dev Rob to Murdoch and Rochelle. I mean, pretty easy. Stevens has almost get you a Heaney. Yeah. Yeah, correct. Traded out Rob for Murdoch. Now I have 685 with Stevens out, who is a good premium. I'm pretty sure you can afford just about every single player in the league at 685k, minus these two. You literally can afford every player. Who do you like? Petrarca's good. I heard Petrarca's a good player. I hear Heaney's a good player. Grundy's a great player. You know, plenty of great players to choose from at 685. Need a midfielder? Heaney's good. Get Haindog. Like Haindog. You might cop Bedford tag this week, though. So maybe... if you don't have Baz, get Holmes. Holmes works. I'm sure you already have Butters. I don't remember. Yeah, either Heaney, Track. Could go Zeret. Holmes, yeah. They're all good, bro. They're all good picks. Yeah, Finn's also a good option too. Good call, Finn. Love Finn Callahan. Remember, I'm 75k. What's your team name? I have to have shower and everything still. Oh no, Muzzy. I've got so many good options to choose from. Please. It's too hard. I can afford any player I want. I love you, Muzzy. You're so funny, bro. 75k. Placey Supercoach. Bro, I'm here, 75k. You weren't there. Well, I had a bad week for you. Want Butters, Dacos, Anderson, Walsh, Bruin, Jagger, Grundy, McAndrew, Sheasel, Flanders, Cook, Rob. Yeah, you need primos in the forward line, man. You need forward primos. Must. How much have you got in the bank, bro? Got Farrow at least. Blamires and Grill and Lindsay. That's good, Shark. Got all the good. I need Supercoach to loan me some money. 21k in the bank. Oh, God. Maz, need to remind you, you were the one who ratted me out, my friend. You were the one who ratted me out to Fiona. Terry invited me on. I was there for 5 minutes. And need I remind you, you were there in the comment section too, mate. You were there. You were there. And then you come here and you're crying because your team's too good. Yes, I will bully you for this. Your team is too good. You beat me in my league, and now I have to help you get your team even better. And now I've got everybody asking for me to review their teams at 11 o'clock at night after streaming for 3 hours after a long day at work. See, Muzz? Who has more reason, huh? Who has more reason to be angry with the other? You tell me, Muzz, huh? You tell me. 21K in the bank. This is one of those weird situations. One of those weird situations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. This could be crazy, but this could be a situation where dropping Anderson. How many trades have you used, Lacey? How many boosts have you used and how many trades have you used? Because it could be. And this could be a situation where you just downgrade, where you just trade out Anderson to be able to get something here in your forward line. It's way too light here. You're getting torched up forward. Trying to cook my structure. 30 trades left. I don't like going early on Anderson though. You already have Murdoch as well. Yeah, team's got a weird structure to it. If there's a way to see it properly, as opposed to seeing it like this. Because no one's ready to go. One, two, three, four, five. Right, five primos in defense is overkill. The defensive rookies are good. Why were you prioritizing the back line so much? 5 of them. I think you've overinvested in your back line. Yeah, your midfield's basically very similar to mine. I've got Gorn instead of Grundy and McAndrew. You might need to drop a defender. I reckon drop Worrell. Actually, no, he's got St Kilda. Damn, you can't drop him against St Kilda. Because the backline is easiest to predict. I did that last year. Yeah, but all these rookies are scoring decent, man. Sarong, Jacques Cousteau, Grill, Lindsay. These guys are. I just traded in Worrell. Why? Rather than getting a Worrell, imagine if you got Rochelle instead, who was cheaper. And a forward. Like the forward line was clearly sketchy from the get-go. With a lot of these rookies, not really wanting them on the field. Probably, yeah, should have traded in a forward last week. There's nothing really easy to tell you, Placey. I think you just simply have to you could just use Rob as a loop this week and loop between options on the bench aren't great. Stain and Doveston. Damn. Yeah, I can understand your conundrum. You might just have to trade out a premium. As crazy as it is. And the crap thing as well is that the week that some of these poorer performing premiums have got good matchups. Anderson against the Bombers at home and Worrell against the Saints. Heck, even Josh Dacos should score well. Right? Where's the... Season long. There it is. Even then, Collingwood... Actually, no, Carlton's a tough matchup. There's nothing obvious for you to do, my friend. I wish I was... Wait, what happened? This has changed. How'd Jordan Clark get here? You had Ash. What the hell? Your team's entirely different now. What happened to your team? You had Ash and Jacos and Worrell. Where'd they go? Does it update live? I am so confused. This team is entirely different now. This is Grundy. You had Grundy here. I am not hallucinating. Do not gaslight me. I know it's been a long day. But don't you dare tell me I'm hallucinating. All right, guys. Sorry, Bales. I'm calling it a night, my friend. Yeah, that's bizarre. I found out how to hack the game. Season not over. Love it. I'm sorry, Placey. I wish I could give you some really clear answers today, but I think the ultimate thing that you have to do is continue to make sure that you've got cash and get your cash gen fine, which you seem to have, which is good. Unfortunately, there's been a mistake in over investment in defense. I think you've over-invested in defense. And without trading a defender primo out, you're just going to have to wait for these other players to mature in price to be able to make those upgrades. Could very well be a Philippou and Cook with Dev Rob to get you someone, but unfortunately, yeah, you took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and hopefully in the long run, these premiums that you've got in defense will be able to cover for whatever deficiencies you have in the forward line. And I suppose you're really going to want to hope that some of these defender rookies don't continue to pump out some decent scores comparable to a Worrell. Like, you really don't want Worrell to be dropping these low scores anymore. But yeah, I think you've put yourself on a certain path, and there's obviously pros and cons to all the different paths that are available to you in Supercoach. You've gone down this path, so be it. There will be obviously turns and bumps and roundabouts along the way, but that's the fun. Everyone plays Supercoach. Everyone's path is their own. They might have similar structures, but picks might be different. Some people can radically change. I've done a bit of a radical change, putting out a defender, 2 forwards. That's, yeah. I'm not saying my way is correct. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that is correct. I'm just simply saying that I suppose the way I think about it is a particular way. The way you're thinking about it is a different way. And it's a bit different to how I play it. So hard for me to put forward a plan halfway through your masterpiece. You're painting your picture, you're painting your artwork. I can't just come in halfway and change it and make it still look good. I think you're just going to have to wait for those players to mature in price or restructure. Long run defense will work out. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the structure, Placey. It's just the structure. Having invested in these defenders, yeah. Because individually, they're not bad selections at all. Individually, they're quite good selections. It just is very heavily backline picked. So good, around 6K with 4 mid prices in the forward line. Well done, Placey. Good stuff, man. 6K rank is very solid at this point. Good stuff. Who's better for Supercoach, Parker or Roberts? Parker or Roberts? And McDonald, Bailey, Rochelle, or Rankin? Oh, Jesus. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it. Look, I like Bailey. I like Rankin. Love Cozzy more than all of them. I just think in defense, there are a lot of options that are available. Like Parker or Roberts. Like, Parker is older, right? How old is Parker these days? Parker. Luke Parker. 33, playing off halfback. He's good. He's got the role, clearly. He's not the number one kick-in taker. And Farrow, Sarong, Jacques, they're scoring decently. They're scoring decently. Like, I'd rather field the defender rookies than field the forward rookies, if that makes sense. I don't like the forward rookies at all. So I'd prioritize getting forward rookies off the field. Out of the 2 defenders and 4 forwards, who's best? You've already got Cozzy. I'm going to get 1 defender and 1 forward. Do you have Whitfield already? Whitfield is cheaper than Parker. If you don't have Whitfield, I'd pick Whitfield over Parker. Cannot trust Sinclair after Whitfield after all these years? What do you mean? What's wrong with Whitfield? What's wrong with Lockie Whitfield, bro? He averaged 111, 110 the last 2 years. He's averaging 100 now. He had that one bad game against the Dogs. But outside of that, he's averaging 107. He's not a round 12 bye player. He's the number 1 kick-in taker for his team. Like, he's ticking all the boxes that you want. Does have a tough run the next couple. But all in all, I reckon Whitfield's a pretty confident top 6 to 8 pick, bro. At that price, 547. That's a nice discount, man. 51K. You can't trust Whitfield, but you can trust Roberts and Parker. Interesting. Interesting. I'd go Whitfield and Bailey. Personally, I'd go Whitfield and Bailey. Chance he gets tagged over Callahan? I reckon Callahan gets the tag. Callahan gets the tag. They tagged Noah Anderson against the Suns. And Noah Anderson has been in dog shit form. And they still tag Noah Anderson. I think they go straight to Callahan, personally. Well, that's what they should do, in my opinion. All right, guys. I'm cooked. I'm done. Thank you all once again for joining, for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Yes. This is a tough week, as you can no doubt tell. It's a tough week. But I hope that this stream helped in some way, shape, or form. And if you remember, look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. If you're not a member, look forward to talking to you guys on Thursday night for the drive home. Not sure when I'm going to record my team review. It definitely will not be tonight. 11:21, 3 hours and 20 minutes down. But I'll try and find some time. Thank you all for joining. 54K. It's a trading game, Placey. It is a trading game. Regardless of how far back you might start, ultimately it's all about the trades, how you manage it, your love, your luck. It's really important. Been roasted for the last 20 minutes. Muzz, getting roasted is really important. That's how the best coffees are made. They come out very delicious. It's all clear. It's all banter, bro. It's all banter. Good night. Love the day. Mate, love your work too, Flash. Good stuff, my friend. Uncle Akka, good to see you, mate. Muzzy, good to see you for a long live stream as well. Hopefully your team is in a better position, my friend. Yeah, Tommy. Yes, he does have a great team. He does have a great team. Give me a membership. Mark took all my money. Someone give Uncle Akka a membership, please. I'm a family lawyer, Bales. Don't burn the beans. Definitely do not want to burn the beans, mate. Go Dons. You and your coffee. It's 11:30, bro. I'm Lebanese. I'll drink coffee at any point in time. I need a coffee fix. All right, guys. Have a lovely night. See you all in the next one. Bye for now.